This episode of the Nerdbender Podcast is brought to you by Power Cut. Damn it.
No one told your life was gonna be this way. Jobs and jokes you broke, your love life's the way. It's like you're always stuck in second gear, when it hasn't been a day, a week, a month, or even a week. But I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you.
No, why you turn the boss there for you? Oh, I don't know who I'm gonna win on that one.
Feeling better than when work began at 8. When your breakfast so far, things are going great. No matter what you do, there'll be days like these. But you didn't tell you when the world is wrong, not to your knees. And I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. I'll be there for you.
I can't skip the ad! I can't skip it! I can't skip it! Ah! Ah!
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special pre-recorded edition of the Nerdbender Podcast. I'm your only mate moderating this episode, and as usual, we have DuoDreamer,
Hey, what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing great.
and of course, we have Richard Korra Kenobi.
Hello there.
Now, unfortunately, we have some news. Freelancer Amber and SpectralStar couldn't make it for reasons.
Yes.
Let it all out, Rich. Let it all out, Duo. Let it all out.
I should be letting it all out. I'm still crying over Winnie the goddamn Pooh.
Anyway,
I still don't know entirely what that's about. I'm not going to ask, but anyway, of course, we do have a special guest. Everyone, please welcome beatle5.
Hello there, everyone. I am yet another reactor like these gents, and it's great to be here. Not gonna lie, I've watched Richard Korra Kenobi a good amount, as well as Freelancer Amber and a bit of DuoDreamer. Sorry to say that I haven't seen much of your only mate.
We're
I should
special.
get used to that.
And what you know, he's moderating my ass today. Already off to a beautiful start.
Joke's on you. I prefer the ginger.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry he's not around no more. But
shots are
Yeah,
getting
everyone-
fired, man.
Confirmed. Your only mate has been hanging around Max a few trades too much.
Yeah, I think his influence is rubbing on him.
Mm-hmm.
nice.
Hey, I've been rubbing off on him a bit too. He's accidentally made puns a few times.
Yeah, and
Damn
whose
you.
fault is that?
Well, anyway, we have to be above the influence, so
Yeah.
let's try to be above the influence. Well,
Always.
How ironic is it what we're here to talk about today? Didn't we just do this for a season
Yeah,
finale? Now we're doing this for the second episode? Jesus, we cannot get away from this.
Dude, it's a special occasion.
It is a special
Yeah, it
occasion.
and
We
people
gotta
just
give
love us
special
talking about
Richard.
that
Nothing.
death battle. They just
Yes,
love it.
Death Battle. Shocking.
Yes, I love Death Battle. Let's
Who
make that
doesn't
clear.
love Death
Who doesn't?
Battle?
Lots of people, actually. Lots of people don't like Death Battle. To be
This
honest.
is true. This is so true.
Goku should have won.
It goes very 50-50.
Oh God, that is the ultimate statement right there.
yeah. But
yes.
nah,
You guys
yeah,
want to
stay
talk about
great.
the first one this season, or are we skipping that?
Wait, what?
I mean, he wants
We
to know
talk
if
about
we're
the
talking
first
about
episode
Black
this
Panther
season.
versus Batman.
Yeah, we're talking about the first two episodes of this season because so far there are only two episodes.
Indeed.
Okay, well, let's start talking about the first battle this
Shut up!
season.
More like the third battle.
Yeah.
Was
Yes.
his third time in it? Yeah.
Yes, third time's a charm.
Oh my god.
And lost. Quite
And
hopefully.
last.
Don't hold your breath.
It is. It's Batman.
I'm gonna say they're
Actually, I was watching. I don't know if you watch Death Battle Cast.
here and there. I didn't used to, but I kind of do now. So because
Okay.
they really started making more stuff about Death Battle in their actual Death Battle cast. They used to talk about that so much. So. But yeah, I
Yeah,
watch
like
it.
Torian being a lawyer for gay cats.
Yes, I recall.
What?
he one of the casts he talked about how he was a lawyer.
I'll tell you later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, Batman versus
Yeah,
Black
you mentioned
Panther
Anyway,
It
they talked
seemed-
about how they've done Spider-Man,
and
Captain America, Black Panther, his 8 highest requests, so it's probably the last.
Yeah,
time
and
we're
it
gonna
was
see
only this
Batman
one
and
that
Batman.
made sense.
At least for a long time.
Yeah, so
That's gonna be like the last one.
yeah. Shit, if we're gonna have Batman for 3 times, let's get Joker in for 3 times. I love to see that.
Against
Deadpool.
who else? Because I thought Sweet
Deadpool?
Tooth was Deadpool, and they
Yeah.
used him. Too
No,
many
I was
times.
saying bring Deadpool back a third time. Have him fight Dante. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that
That
what's
would be
his
good.
face? They've already done that on what the hell is it? Superpower.
Yeah,
Mighty
Superpower
Raccoon.
beatdown.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
Mighty
yeah,
Raccoon.
Arcade mode,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, oh, yeah,
I
that's what it
know,
was.
but-
Arcade mode. That's what it was. Right.
Yes.
which was awesome.
Yes, it was. But so Batman versus Black Panther, the fight that everyone in unison said, "Ah." A third
Well,
one.
not everyone.
I thought it was pretty obvious.
Not
when I
just the
first
fact,
heard it.
not just the
Who's gonna
fact that Batman came a third time, but also it was an obvious choice of who was going to win.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. It was about as obvious as Venom versus Bane.
Oh.
Like, I really didn't
I
have to
wouldn't say
think
it was
much
that
on it.
obvious.
It was close.
Wow.
So yeah, who shall go first to talking about the bat versus the cat?
Well, let me even first say that although I
Sure,
have not, although I did not
Yes, you are the
see
guest
Black
of honor.
Panther, like I know I did not go to see Black Panther yet because
Shame on you. It's not a movie.
it didn't seem interesting to me at the time until I realized that
I know I
plays
plays
a really
black, right?
important role in the cinema universe. So now I gotta go watch that.
You didn't seem interested you because he was black, right?
I
knew it. I knew it.
Let's not go to that place. Dude, let's say if you were Black Panther, I'd go see it. All right, if it makes you feel any better.
I wish I had the body of Black Panther and his wealth and his brains.
Well, but yeah, no, I mean, I already knew enough about him before that anyway.
Yep.
So like, okay, he's got the vibranium suit and the anti-metal weapons, and I'm like, okay, DC itself doesn't really have that kind of rare metal alloy kind of substances, whereas Marvel has like
metal.
Yeah.
yeah, nth metal is about the only thing, and that's what Deathstroke, I think. And,
No, that's
yeah.
also, that originates from Hawkman and Hawkgirl.
But isn't Deathstroke's sword made of that?
No, his armor's made
Oh,
of
it's
that.
armor. Okay, that's what.
And I know that
his armor is Kevlar and nth metal, and I think promethium.
Something
yeah,
like that.
yeah, something that's not actually what it is in the real world. I remember talking about that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Comic-
so
let-
Marvel's
comic
got
now.
like vibranium and adamantium and all these stupid man-made, super-powered alien metals and all that shit. And they already seemed pretty obvious from the start that yeah, maybe Batman has some kind of tools or something that could hit him here and there, but I don't think anything that Batman had could have officially taken the kill per se.
unfortunately
Possibly.
not.
Yeah, it's definitely 100% true that as much as it's gonna kill me to say this, I'm a hardcore Batman fan. Batman's
As am I.
got he has. I mean, there's nothing in that belt and his standard gear that can, put Black Panther down for good.
Exactly. Well, like, I mean, I think the biggest enemy he's fought armor-wise was always Bane, and he had one very obvious weakness every time. So,
those
Yeah.
tubes.
Yeah,
Them tubes.
right. I mean, Batman even managed to take down Doomsday at one point. So, because Doomsday,
right.
That is very true.
supposedly, I don't really read comics, so I don't know exactly. So I try to watch what I say in order to avoid hate.
Yes.
But from what I've heard, he's taken down Doomsday in some sense, the unkillable monster.
Prep time.
Yes.
Yep.
So.
that's it.
The dreaded
no
prep time.
legit weakness to exploit. It was only a matter of time for Black Panther eventually took him down with, the one metal that can destroy every other kind of metal and substance, whatever the anti-metal is.
Yeah.
So. Plus, he was way more agile than Batman was. I mean, Batman's pretty darn agile, but like Black Panther was on a superhuman level.
Oh yeah.
Because of the magical fruit.
Yes.
Yeah, the heart-shaped herb of Wakanda.
Yeah.
Yes,
The
Wakanda.
Wumpa fruit.
Wumpa fruit. And like Boomstick says, he can get strong.
I kinda wish
by
they
just
made
smoking
that
some
joke,
weed.
but
I mean, why
Yeah,
not?
I mean, well,
Yeah.
Wumpa fruit don't even look like the fruit, and that's it would have been a bad joke.
Oh, talking of, did you guys see the news that's coming to Nintendo and Xbox?
I like
Yeah,
how
oh,
you.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yo, let's make a promise that I'm assuming all of you have seen a new Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, let's wait until afterwards to talk about that.
Oh, let's
Yeah.
please touch on that because I have no one else to talk with that to.
Oh, of
I
course.
don't
We
have
love-
Nintendo friends. Everyone I know plays
I'll
PC and PS4.
I'll be your Nintendo friend.
Yay.
Yes, of course.
Oh, that was.
Yeah,
That was
but
hype.
what did you think of? So, what did you think of the overall fight, beatle5? Like the analysis and the animation.
I mean, the animation was about what I thought it would be. Another 8-bit, nothing to see there. I found it odd how they chose for them to fight in zoo. I've seen a lot of participation from third-party animals.
Yes.
Well, that was
I was
mostly
like-
because zoos have all kinds of terrain, and they wanted to, just experiment with that.
Yeah,
have
it's
them
like
fight in all
you
sorts of
rarely
different
see them
areas.
Do it that often, so like what is it? They take like a good solid 30 seconds to have Black Panther and Batman fight lions.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay.
I thought that was
This is-
cool.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong, it was
Good
cool.
touch.
It's just something new. And then how he tranks one of the lions, and then freaking Black Panther throws a rhino,
Yes.
and then
He's
Batman.
done that in the comics, so
Yeah.
Don't really
They
surprise.
want it's fan service right there.
And
Yes.
then Batman gets eaten by an orca.
Oh god, the killer whale.
Yeah.
Killer
and
whales
the
have
winner
always
is
been my
Shamu.
favorite. Yes. Shamu ate Batman. I'm never going to SeaWorld again.
I think it was Big Willie.
I'd be like, Shamu, open up.
This is what happens. See, this is what happens when you free Willy. This shit
Oh
happens.
my
Willie
god!
Unleashed.
Uh,
No, wait,
And
it's Destroy All Humans, Big Willie
everyone
Unleashed.
but Batman has a whale of a time.
Oh.
Oh.
That stinks. Stinks.
Yeah, it hurts.
Yeah, see, we're Batman fans. We can make fun of this.
More than a Black Panther fan, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
I'm in the middle.
Yes. Yes. So anyone else want to go next? Talk about Batman versus Black Panther?
I still think that shot where he leaps Batman through the smoke is fucking amazing.
Yes.
that was-
Just with the Panther roar sound effect.
Yeah, and he comes out like an actual panther. Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah. Oh, and I brought this up before on something else, but I don't think I brought it up here with any of you guys. In the commentary and on Death Battle Cast, they revealed a alternative way
Oh, yeah,
they're
you
gonna
told me
have
about
Batman
this.
die.
You told me about this.
Because Black Panther has these like King of the Dead powers, they were talking about what if he brings back Batman's parents and have them eat Bruce.
Jesus Christ.
No.
What is the? Sorry,
no.
as someone who's not a connoisseur of Black Panther, what's this King of the Dead power that he has?
It's really just that he can communicate with the dead
Oh, that's interesting.
and like talk to all these other Black Panthers.
But not resurrect them. Just talk to them.
I'm not sure. He might be able to. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it's iffy.
Okay, so he's
To have his parents rise up from the dead and eat Batman.
Oh God.
No.
Why would his parent? Wait. So he
I'm
he
happy
could
that's
resurrect humans back as panthers.
No,
Is that
like
No,
just-
as like zombies and control them.
yeah. There
Oh,
you
okay, a zombie. I was gonna say, I'm like, why would Batman's parents eat Batman? They're humans. But
Well,
if they're
they're
zombies, then it
zombies.
makes sense. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Then, yeah.
I'm really happy they didn't do that.
No, that would,
Yeah,
yeah,
that
that'd be a
would've
real
been
bad
much.
taste.
Would have been too
Also,
much.
they did expand on that, like why they didn't even mention the King of the Dead powers is because it wouldn't really matter in the fight.
I'm gonna say,
It
how
was
is that? How can you
literally
really
just
use
be-
that as an offensive technique? I'm pretty sure Batman has seen his parents through like Scarecrow's fear gas, and it doesn't even phase him. So it's not like this way would make much of a difference.
No,
He has
Probably
fought the
the-
dead before. He's fought
yeah, he has. I mean, he's best friends with the guy who can.
Dead man.
Dead man. So yeah,
The way they were
And he
talking
always-
about it was since he mostly uses it to communicate with the dead, I don't think Batman's going to be cool with him just saying, "Oh, hey, I'm Batman. I got to talk to my dead friend for a minute." Okay.
Yeah, no, not really something worth mentioning.
no.
Yeah.
DuoDreamer, you want to give your thoughts on the fight?
When I was glad that it was one of the predictions that I wanted to see for season 5, and I didn't think I was gonna
It
get.
was kind of obvious.
I didn't think I was gonna get in the first shot, but then I was thinking, yeah, Black Panther's coming out, so what a better way to do it. But it was obvious that Black Panther was gonna win. I mean, I was looking to his stats and everything. I'm like, there's no way. If it was just T'Challa versus Bruce Wayne, it would be a fair fight. But with the Heart of Wakanda, with the vibranium, there is no way to penetrate through his defenses and defeat Black Panther. There might be ways.
Unless you're absurdly strong.
Right, exactly. And Batman is only peak human level. When it
Yeah.
comes to strength, speed, agility, what
Solidly,
have
they
you.
even brought that up in the analysis with the bench press record.
Yes.
Yeah, which they've brought up 3 times now.
Well, hold on though. The fruit that Black Panther eats that only enhances his reflexes, right? That doesn't give him super.
No, it enhances
strength.
his
No,
strength
it,
too.
it- yeah,
Oh, so he
it
does
gives-
have super strength with it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it gives him enhanced agility, enhanced super strength, speed, and senses.
like another sense where he could like be aware of his own body movement or something.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then I feel like if it was T'Challa versus Bruce Wayne, I'm pretty sure Bruce Wayne himself has combated people on those superhuman levels before.
Oh, he has, yes.
And if,
Oh,
he,
yeah,
and if
definitely.
he didn't have the vibranium suit, and it was just straight up Bruce Wayne, I would have to at
then he
least
could have
edge
won.
more my vote towards Bruce Wayne.
Like
then.
I was
Yeah.
saying, if it was T'Challa without the heart-shaped herb, without the vibranium, I think it would have been more of a fair fight.
Well, he wouldn't not have the heart-shaped herb. I mean, that's something that he's naturally already received. Let's say he didn't have the vibranium suit, which was what crafted for him. I'm assuming,
Yeah.
as was Batman's suits.
Right.
We're gonna
Well,
assume
the
that it's like Black Panther's natural powers.
Well,
In
the
that
thing
case, I
with
think-
Black Panther, he had, in order to take the mantle of the Black Panther, he had to go through trials without the heart-shaped herb. So he had to go through grueling battles and training and whatnot. Even to become king of Wakanda, he has to also achieve that without the heart-shaped herb.
Yeah.
When
He still has
these
his
trials. We're talking like League of Assassin kind of trials.
Kind
Or-
of, yeah.
something
He has
like
to
that.
fight 6 people or who challenge for the right to be king, and when he fights them, he gets the Black Panther power stripped from him, so it can be a fair fight because,
Okay.
yeah,
It's sort of like a rite of passage. kind of
Okay, yeah. So the fruit is his reward for succeeding. Okay,
something like that. Yeah.
makes sense.
yeah. So
Like I said, if he didn't have that, I think it would have been more of a fair fight if it was T'Challa versus Bruce Wayne.
I actually would have liked to see that instead of just in their alter egos. It would have just been more.
But this way it takes them at their maximum potential, which is what Death Battle is all about.
I'm gonna say
I
they
know.
wouldn't dumb them down to that unless that's what the fight was specifically. Just to
Yeah.
even them out.
But
yeah.
but to finish off, I enjoyed it. I loved the animation. The music was good.
Oh, the music
It
is
was-
amazing.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. of course it is.
It was a good way to start off season 1. in my opinion.
Yeah.
Even though it was
Season
the
1?
obvious. It was,
What?
Season 5.
Season
Well,
5. Excuse me.
We're back at season 1.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Freaking
I
I
gotta,
gotta
Boba
warn
Fett
you into
versus
that about Goku
Samus
versus
again?
Superman.
Oh boy,
I
I'm
got
gonna have to go back and watch
confused
that
with
now.
episode 1 and season. So I meant to say season
Oh, wow,
5.
man, I should
excuse
warn
me.
about Link versus Cloud.
Oh my god!
Well, I wouldn't go as far to say that it was a good start for season 5. And a little,
Yeah.
it kind of ticked me off that they just used Batman again. Because if I'm not a fan of something, it's of reuses. But at this point, I'm kind of growing to accept it since Death Battle is starting to do that again with reusing. What's his name? Shadow coming back into Death Battle and
I feel so
Batman
bad for Shadow.
and Death. Yeah, well, you see, Batman Shadow lost twice. And I honestly
No.
really thought he would have won against Mewtwo. Like the Vegeta one, I'm like, okay, he's boned, but that
Stop
fight,
requesting Shadow against people. He's doomed again.
Stay
Let
on
him win
stay
one.
on one top. Stay on one
Shadow's
fight,
easily one of the
please.
strongest characters in the Sonic universe. So I don't
Yeah.
know. But regardless,
Yeah.
I feel like they could have maybe if they did Batman versus Black Panther later on in season 5, I'd be okay with it. But I always get more excited when they start off with brand new
Something
characters.
new.
Like take the start of season 3 for example. Dante versus Bayonetta is easily still
Oh,
one of
I
my
know
favorites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's among
We'll
my
get to
top
that.
3 favorites.
It's-
We will talk about that.
Uh,
But yeah.
Yeah, one way I was talking to someone about this. It's like one way to look at it is perhaps this is Batman's tiebreaker because he lost one fight, he won another fight. So how does this ratio end?
By losing.
Yeah. But I mean, a death battle,
Yeah,
you don't really
so
need tiebreakers.
There's the tiebreaker.
Yeah. You mind if I go your only mate? Or
As long as
did
it's
you
not
want-
too long.
Thanks. I'm like everyone else. I saw this one coming. It was very predictable. They announced that they were going to do this before it was officially announced, and it seemed appropriate. It's just I'm with beatle5. I wish it could have been later on in the season. It was a nice way to promote Black Panther. I will give it that.
I think
Even
that's probably why it came first. 'Cause
yes,
Death Battle-
but
Death
it was
Battle
a
tends to do
coincidence because everyone
Yeah,
has
and they
this.
also want to be in like the search when people look up Black Panther.
Black
Panther.
Panther.
That's
Yeah.
one of the reasons why.
It's like at the
did.
time when the
Which-
Jack and Daxter versus Ratchet and Clank, the movie just came around.
Yeah, because the movie was
which
coming
was
out.
awesome.
Yeah, and when Iron Man versus Lex Luthor came out and Age of Ultron came out a couple days later, yeah, so it's
Oh, was that
For me,
was
it was
that
a
when
couple
that
days
came
before.
out?
yes, yeah, yeah. But
Yeah,
I'm
just
a
FYI,
hardcore
for me,
Batman
the movie
fan.
came out before the Death Battle.
I'm a hardcore Batman fan. Everyone knows this.
Yeah,
I mean,
nice.
Yeah, I mean, but even I've entertained this fight before, and it always ends the same way. It ends with Batman losing. There's just no way, without the stupid prep time rule, which I hate that, but whatever, I guess. There's just no way he could have won. I'm sorry. I mean, would it have been fair if it was Bruce Wayne versus T'Challa? Yes, but it's like your only mate said, they want to take these characters at their maximum potential. But hey, it is what it is. The analysis was kind of redundant for Batman at this point. They didn't offer anything new. It just felt like they were just reusing the same script from the last two fights.
It's the third time. At this
really
point, if
feel
you don't know
that way
about
for me.
Batman, you haven't really been paying attention.
Yeah, like I could literally
Like a
quote-
non-Batman fan could tell you at least a good 10 facts that could matter in a fight about Batman.
Yeah, exactly. And I was
They didn't
hoping
really need to review him anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And there were some things that were a little iffy that I thought they didn't explore into deeply as they did for Black Panther. So Black Panther's analysis was the only good one. The animation was pretty damn good. This was done by my friend Biorhythmic Studios. This was his first death battle, and I thought he did a pretty good job on it. Yeah,
They
he
won for a
is.
long time.
He's a very talented guy, and I'm happy he got his chance to finally work on a death battle. And he had a hilarious alternate ending that you can go check out on his YouTube channel for this fight.
I
But
didn't know there was an alternate.
I saw that.
yeah, I'll send it to you, beatle5.
Yes,
It was a mistake.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was just for shits and giggles, but it was pretty funny.
Nice.
The animation was very good. I actually liked that it was at a zoo because I'm like, we've never seen that in Death Battle.
And they've
And,
been stranger venues, so you can't complain.
yeah, and the opening where Batman's listening to that music, which I cannot remember the name
Yeah,
of the
what
music.
the hell was that? I didn't recognize that at all.
I remember hearing what it was. I just can't remember.
Yeah, see, I should have looked it up. It
yeah,
was
I
from an
didn't know
anime. It was from an anime Batman was listening to. But the fight was very engaging. It was very close, and the ending where he got eaten by a killer whale, I thought that was pretty funny. But overall, this episode was just not a good way to start off season 5. It was a decent episode, but I wouldn't say, as far as season premieres go, I would put this at the very bottom. Like, it's very close between this and Laura Croft versus Nathan Drake. So,
Whoa. Wait, you,
Yeah,
didn't,
like-
you didn't like that season start?
no. I mean, I liked Laura Croft. I've explained. Me and DuoDreamer have kind of talked about this.
Let's not go into this again.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a personal fan of Uncharted or Tomb Raider, but even
Well,
I
I
thought
like
that was a
both.
cool
It's
start.
just I felt to kind of end that, to give you my quick thoughts, the hype wasn't there for me as I thought it should have been.
Fair
But
enough.
you know, tomatoes, but this fight was okay. The battle music was also very good. Once again, werewolf, there well, right? I only made him saying that right.
I think that's right. Hang on.
Okay, I'll just say werewolf.
It's on my
Studios.
phone. I can look it up.
Okay.
I like when they throw in music that's just straight up
That-
from other games
that
that I
would
can
be,
just
yeah.
immediately recognize.
Yeah.
Like,
well, this one was more original because they have their own original soundtracks now that are provided by Brandon
they're
Yates.
doing that for every
and-
Death
Oh, don't get me
Battle
wrong, those are cool, but I really appreciated how Death Battle would like throw in old like Marvel vs. Capcom sprites.
Yeah.
Or, like doing themes like Flash versus Quicksilver. They used
Oh,
Super
you're gonna-
Skrull's theme from Marvel vs. Capcom 3, and I immediately picked up on that. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
yeah, it is.
I really love Marvel vs. Capcom. So
Oh yeah, absolutely. But to kind of end it, this fight was just okay. It was redundant seeing Batman again, but it was awesome seeing Black Panther for his first time. So this fight was just okay. So there are my thoughts.
Right.
Yeah.
Shall
you're
we
only
move
me.
on to the second fight?
Wait, you didn't give your thoughts, you're only me.
He did.
Yeah, I did.
I
Oh,
believe
okay.
you did.
Pay
Okay.
attention,
This is
dude.
Well, I'm sorry.
Anymore.
Jesus.
Well, gentlemen, before we head on to the next fight, though, I do want to say, because since my reaction, I have received much hate upon
How dare
watching that battle. And I
Okay,
believe you
well-
three know why.
Yeah.
If one wrong thing is uttered, you'll get trampled by hooves, so to speak.
Oh,
And-
Yeah.
Let me just, I
Go
hereby
ahead.
decree, I am not a My Little Pony fan.
It's okay.
I don't.
Oh,
I do not express hatred towards bronies. It just ain't my thing. But apparently,
That's
you say one reason as to why.
They are.
Yeah,
I
said,
am a
and
brony,
I
and
slipped
yeah,
and
they are
said,
too nitpicky.
I said creepy at one point during my reaction,
Oh,
and don't get me wrong, I'm not lying. I just I wish that people could just be a little bit more mature. Because Richard, aren't you a brony from what I've heard?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and I'm sure that's for whatever reason of your own. You like the show, whatever. But
Yeah.
I'm accepting ponies being thrown to the fan now because apparently they have the qualities of like crazy physics breaking powers that could put them in set fights. So
I
let's
have something
just-
to say about that.
let's
but
just
we'll
say
get to it when
that.
we
So I
start
say that
talking
now
about the
before we go
episode.
further.
Yeah. So
You weren't the only one that was getting hate for this.
Oh, really?
Even Richard was getting hate.
surprise.
You were hating on your own fandom, and they hated
Yes,
you
my
for it?
own fan. Yes, my own kind turned on me.
Oh,
Here's
dear.
what happened. Me and Richard.
Final Fantasy fans.
I love Final Fantasy.
Me too.
But even
No,
I
I'm just
cried,
saying,
but
I-
even I cried when Sephiroth killed Virgil because I love Devil May Cry more.
Yes.
I was gonna mention that I reference a particular Final Fantasy character's death in a lot of videos I
yeah.
make.
Please
Oh,
please
no,
don't mention
no,
it here.
don't
Please
do it.
don't mention it here.
I'll go
It's too
into that
painful to
later.
remember.
But
Yes.
anyway, I was gonna continue with this story. Me and Richard, we did a collab in predicting Twilight Sparkle versus Raven, and I thought it went well. And like what Richard had to say about Twilight Sparkle, because I was like, I don't know anything about My Little Pony. I'm not a fan of My Little Pony. That's why I
Right,
went
right.
to Richard.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden, I'm getting like a lot of hate from
For just
Other
not
bro-
knowing it, right? Right.
No, no.
not to me, not to me. That because
No.
I admit that I don't know it. They
No,
were
it
mad at
wasn't him.
Richard because there were some things he got wrong. Like he
I
said
see.
that Twilight Sparkle was an Earth pony where she was actually a unicorn. But I look at it as this. I said, okay, he slipped up. Big freaking deal.
Yeah,
you know what I
it's-
mean?
it's-
Nobody's freaking perfect. Like there was one time
Was I
I
the only one who
did.
didn't get hate?
Of course you didn't.
There was a
Yay.
video I did about the Ninja Turtles, and
Mhm.
I got the 87, excuse me, 87 year wrong. I said 86 version, and it said no, it's 87. I said, oh, okay. I said, so I was 1 year off. So sue me. You know,
It's that kind of hate that makes fandoms look bad.
Yes,
Yes,
but
yes.
with all respect to my brony and Pegasus sister
Oh,
brethren,
have a lot
I
of
still
stories about stuff like that.
I know. I'm still a fan, and some bronies and Pega sisters have subscribed to my channel, so they stick up for me, even though I can get shit wrong. It happens. I'm not a perfect researcher. I'm decent in my own right. I do my best with the given circumstances. So, yeah.
Right. But anyway, let's.
Okay,
talk
with
about
that out of the way,
I think it is safe to assume though that we do all love Teen Titans. Yes.
Oh hell yeah! Of course.
Teen Titans, not Teen Titans Go.
Yes. Let's all express we're talking about original Cartoon Network Teen Titans.
5 years.
did I
of
say the
that.
name of the death file yet?
Yes, you may.
I did, and you did.
Yeah, you both
you
said it. Yeah, he did.
Anyway, the next death file we're talking about is Raven versus Twilight Sparkle.
Yeah. Right.
If it
I
wasn't
mean,
obvious enough.
me not knowing anything about Twilight, I immediately threw my vote towards Raven. Not only just because Raven, let alone from Teen Titans and Justice League versus Teen Titans and Judas contract, she is powerful, but also she's a DC hero. And I think that's just enough said. Because those guys are just generally overpowered. So
Oh, story of my life.
yeah, so I mean, all right there, I had to throw my hat towards Raven.
Yeah.
DC characters are overpowered. I bet Goku knows all about that.
Oh.
Yeah, trust me. When I first
This
watched
is going up
Goku-
on his channel. Just to remind you guys. So.
Okay.
When I first watched Goku
know,
versus
I don't
Superman,
care.
trust me, I raged and I thought, why can't Goku win? And then after 2, I keeled over and accepted it. So
Sounds like me.
yeah,
Some
no.
people didn't-
I'm gonna go last. To talk
Okay.
about this fight. So y'all decide amongst yourselves who shall talk about this first.
I have some behind-the-scenes stuff.
I'll do tell.
Okay, well, for those who are like, oh, why'd you put Raven up against a pony? This was the only fight suggested for Raven where she stood a chance.
I'm gonna say I was one of those people who asked that.
Yeah, the other opponents were Jean Grey, so Raven versus the Phoenix.
Yeah, which
Birds.
probably would have died against if I
Gets
Yeah.
worse.
Phoenix Force would have annihilated Raven.
yeah.
It gets worse.
Yeah.
And the other one is Scarlet Witch.
Oh dear
I
God.
thought.
Well,
I
now see, I think Raven would destroy Scarlet.
Yeah.
Not really.
No. It's a
Scarlet
stomp.
Witch is a reality warper.
I hate that
Reality
word.
Warper, really?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's just what I know from Avengers, but I thought she was just telekinetic and telepathic.
No, she's been
Oh no, in the
taught by
comics,
Doctor.
she's ridiculous.
She's next to Doc. She's on equal levels with Doctor Strange, and he's also a reality warper, and he taught her everything he knows. So, yeah, she can literally bend the fabric of
But
reality.
what do you mean he taught her everything? Isn't she a mutant?
No. Well, she was.
She
but
technically is a mutant, but Marvel Cinema is not licensed to say mutant, so they say
Oh,
enhanced.
yeah.
They say
Forgot.
enhanced instead, because Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are both mutants.
So
Yeah.
what?
The X-Men
So
side.
who's her father now in the cinematic universe?
Well, I know Magneto is Quicksilver's
thought we were-
supposed father, except he isn't.
Yeah.
As for Scarlet Witch, I don't know.
But they're sisters.
yeah, but no. Scarlet Witch she is one of the top 2 most powerful Marvel magic users of all time. She puts Raven absolute shame.
I also,
Yeah,
for
so-
the longest time, suggested that Raven fight Morrigan from Darkstalkers until I realized how not very similar they are.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes
Yeah,
I just
some
like
Morrigan- nobody's
certain
fight the
characters
same.
go up against each other just because I feel like it'd be a good fight.
It
Yeah.
would be a
I think Morrigan was a suggested opponent for Bayonetta at one point.
Nah, see, I think Bayonetta then would beat Morrigan.
I'm not sure. Anyway, I don't really
No,
know
but
enough
go
about
ahead.
Morgan to
Yeah. No.
say anything.
Continue.
Yeah, so Twilight was the only person that Raven had a chance against.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're both similar
What is that?
because their magic is based on emotions.
It is so
which
funny.
I had no idea what that was going in. I'm thinking,
Yes,
well,
they have-
they're both voiced by Tara Strong. That's
Yeah,
like
but
their
they,
only-
they have more in common. They literally had more in common than people gave them credit for. It was
I-
so ridiculous.
Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah, I saw so many people that were like, "Oh, the only thing they have in common is that they're voiced by Tara Strong," and I was like, "No, that's not the case."
I'm
And also,
sorry, that was
that
me. I
is not a
apologize.
terribly strong connection.
Why are you making
I
points?
had to work it in there.
You know what? I love Tara Strong too much. I'll let it slide.
I'm not saying.
There was one other thing I had in mind.
I have a question though.
And-
Oh no, sorry, go ahead.
All right, and the death wasn't all that gory because, well, one, it kind of makes more sense for a more cartoonish character.
Whoa. Okay. This reminded me. This is reminding me of a conversation I had with Robuscus and his podcast. We talked about this, and if that was the reason, why have the Pokemon have a horrible death?
I was gonna go into that.
I think that's
Okay,
just
go ahead.
Oh, thanks for the interruption, Duo.
No problem. But anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, yeah,
Garfield,
this kind of relates to
Garfield.
someone I remember talking to Max about. Like, in a way, it kind of makes more sense for the cartoony characters to be killed off in like a friendly way, as hard as it is to do in Death Battle.
Yeah, Death Battle really has not been following that rule. I could think of
Yeah,
just
like
recent.
yeah. So
Like when Blanca
inside
bit
something like
Pikachu's
that,
head off.
because yeah, I did.
Yeah,
Really?
Touch burned into our retinas.
Yeah, so Ben decided, let's just have it this way in case like a 6-year-old girl who likes both because they're both in kids shows at the moment stumbles upon it, and this way it could be interpreted as like, oh no, it's just a cartoon. That happens all the time. Twilight's okay.
I think this is the first time they've actually had to kill off a pony because Rainbow Dash
Yeah, it
killed
is.
Starscream, and nobody wanted Dimple and Pinkie Pie. So yeah,
They
they
just
kind of had to be
became friends and
careful.
had a
They had to
party.
be careful with how they disposed of Twilight.
Yep.
Which makes
You know what?
sense. I mean, what, they just mashed her into the ground? I think that's what it
Careful
was.
with the Pokemon.
No corpse, no blood.
See, the entire battle confused the hell out of me. Like, okay, you know, they're telekinetically throwing shit inside of Twilight's house, and then they TP outside. And I know this is something pony related, but they didn't say it in the analysis, so I don't know what it was. Richard, what was
remember-
that deal with Raven falling in love with the rock? Like,
I can answer that too.
was not said. So what the hell was it?
The wand it needed spell.
Okay, they didn't mention that in word. Maybe it was
Well,
written.
they
Maybe it was
did.
written on their list, but they didn't say it. I go by mostly
Yeah, it was
what
in
they say.
it was in the sidebar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what the hell is it?
Basically, whenever.
Basically, okay.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, basically, whenever Twilight casts the spell on you on a certain object, everyone in Ponyville or just anyone in general will go and want that object. So when she did it on Raven, Raven wanted that rock, and she was
was a good
so
rock.
obsessed with that rock, she defended it. So that was supposedly going to be Twilight's trump card, as many bronies speculated, but it actually turned out to be kind of a downfall.
Okay, now, like, in MLP, does it go to the point where, say, anybody who's fallen in love with said object would kill for said object?
Pretty much.
It's a kids
And
show,
how-
so I doubt they go that far.
From what I know now of MLP, they beat shit up in that show. So
Correct.
maybe not kill per se.
No, but they would go to violent.
Yeah,
lengths.
exactly. So like, and then how long does that effect normally last for? As long as Twilight wants, or
Something like that. Yeah. Yeah, but continue your own, mate.
I think I was pretty much done at that point.
Oh, just give your quick thoughts on the fight then, because you're the one here who.
It was a well done fight. I do like the fact that Kira Buckland played both characters.
Yes, absolutely.
who is that?
She is very famous in the MLP community. She plays Twilight on these projects. She's mostly famous from what me and your only mate know her from. She's played Twilight in these MLP versus Sonic videos done by a YouTuber named
she only
Animated
played,
James.
She only played Twilight on one of them.
Yeah, it was in Twilight
That was the
versus
only way she
Tails.
spoke.
Yeah, she's also played Twilight in some other things. She has a very good voice. Like,
I
she's
swear she was in Death Battle before, wasn't she?
no, she was never in Death Battle, as far as I remember.
Where the hell did I hear that from, man? I'm not sure.
I don't know. So yeah, she sounds very close to Tara Strong.
I was gonna say Death Battle gets pretty good people to do voices if they can't get their originals.
Well,
Which they can
yeah, because
sometimes
there was
get,
no
so-
chance in hell we were
Yeah,
seeing
look-
Tara Strong.
Look
in
at
this.
Sephiroth.
Well, hey, I wouldn't go that far. If they can get Tia Ballard to voice Tifa, then I
I
think
love
they could.
her as Tifa.
Yeah, Tia Balor's great. I love Fairy Tail.
Well,
And-
it's only because they have connections to Funimation. They're best friends with Funimation, so they can get their actors, but they
Yeah,
can't.
what is it? Christopher Nolan? How many times did they get?
Christopher
him?
Sabat.
Sorry, Sabat. Did I say Nolan? Jesus Christ.
I didn't know Christopher Nolan was in Death Battle.
That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
No, I meant Sabat. Yeah, and they brought him like what 3 times I think. So
Twice.
Twice.
twice. Yeah.
I think Chris
For
Ranger-
Solid Snake, which he did
Snake
for free, and Smokey the Bear.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
Chris
so-
I want to
Ranger-
put it past them.
Yeah.
Chris Rager.
Chris Rager.
Right? Yeah.
Rager.
Satan.
Uh,
Yeah.
who else? Chuck Huber was number one.
Android 17. Yeah, that's right. And the voice of Hiei.
Oh, they always had Team 4-star characters like
Yeah, like Lenny Bator,
Yep.
Kaiser Neko.
Todd Habercorn.
Takahata 101. I love it.
Yeah, Todd Habercorn. They've had
Moscow X.
Moscow X, yes.
Oh, I flipped shit when
We
I
had
heard
on
that
this
Peanut Butter
podcast.
Gamer was in Voltron versus Power Rangers. I love
Yeah,
it.
he was the voice of the Red Ranger, and he was also the
No.
I love how we, like,
Peanut Butter
go
Gamer
away
was
from-
the
Yeah,
blue
let's-
guy on Voltron's team. Space Hamster was the Blue Ranger.
Yeah, okay, so
Yeah,
let's
mix
get
up.
back on topic here. So, yeah, you only
Yeah.
made. Is that all you have to say about Raven versus Twilight?
It was a well animated fight. I like the stuff that Lewis did with the Soul Self, like all the hand drawn elements to it.
I was gonna say I
Really
really
was.
did like that. Those little like pencil drawn birds. They're really
Yeah,
cool. I did like
that's-
That was
Uh,
really good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right.
Lewis, or CV Jets Animation. He's been animating for Death Battle for 2 years now, and his craft improves tremendously over the course of the time.
yeah, they were super
It
cool.
really does.
Yeah.
And last thing I'll say on it, actually no, 2 things. I know this is a reference to something that happens in MLP. I don't know entirely what because I don't watch the show. Got nothing against it. But Twilight's library getting destroyed, and she goes, "Oh no, again!"
Season 4 finale,
Yeah,
that's what that's a reference to.
That I was wondering.
Okay,
I
well, I
didn't
don't know.
listen to that reference either.
Yeah,
And-
it was a reference to the season 4 finale when Tirak, the devil god, destroyed her library with a huge explosion.
Yeah, I assumed that it was some scenario in the show where it was blown up.
Yeah, by the way,
Yeah.
nice job, Lewis.
And Twilight's last words were a pun.
Yep.
Yeah, it always hurts.
Turns her into a pun. Sorry to soil your fun.
Oh,
Dead.
almost
So I imagine
gave
Duo was happy about that.
my-
Don't mind me.
I was referencing the fact that she died immediately afterwards.
Yes. That kills me.
Yeah, she's dead. A pony died after making a pun. It paid the price.
Yeah. So, beatle5, you want to give your thoughts on the fight?
Yeah, I mean, they didn't really tell me much more about Raven that I wasn't already familiar with, so I'm pretty nice on that. Some of the feats, that you never really pay attention to, like in Teen Titans, because you're a kid, and you're like, wow, Raven and Terra helping lift Teen Titans Tower. So,
Well,
that's cool.
technically, that was mostly Terra. Raven just kind of was the.
Didn't they specify that
No,
it
it
was
wasn't.
mostly Raven?
No, it
Yeah,
was.
because
Wasn't the reason why they said that feat?
No, it was
wasn't really
mostly.
pulled it up. But then
No,
when
it
Raven
was-
stepped in, they
Well,
pushed it back up.
Yeah, no, it was mostly Terra for the longest time. Raven just came in later to help because by that time it's very difficult to explain. But mostly Terra was the one who did most of the work. Raven was just there to kind of support her. So she was putting up half of her power while Terra was putting up all of her power. Because remember, Terra has the ability to control and alter the Earth.
Yeah, she's DC's Tough Beifong. I'm familiar.
Kind of, yeah. So-
But, I mean, I was really happy that they showed scenes from Judas Contract in Justice League VT Titans. And,
Hell yes.
I mean, they got all of her typical telekinetic throw-around powers. And I realize now a lot more how in-depth her motions mattered to her powers. Because, again, me watching Teen Titans as a child, that was like the most of DC I ever really looked upon. So I didn't really
Same here.
look so much that Raven's emotions tied so much to her powers. I mean, they said it, but it's a bigger deal than what I thought it was. Very happy that I knew that she was going to go with the Trigon form, so to say, and probably take her down at that point. But I was also wondering because again, certain parts of the battle really confused me because I'm like, right after she rages from the Love Rock thing, she turns into Dark Raven and then swallows up Twilight. Now she's got her in like this bubble with tendrils around her.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden there's a a pink magic ball that comes out and turns Raven into a plant. Like, what the hell happened in that scene?
Basically,
I thought Twilight was trapped. So
well,
I thought that too.
that's why they really lost me at that part.
yeah. Well,
You know what Raven forgot to do?
what'd she forget to
Yeah,
do?
what?
She forgot to dodge!
She did forget to dodge.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
But yeah, just like
Really?
if you're familiar with how that worked, Richard, what's the deal with the pink ball turning Raven into a plant? Even though
She
Twilight was
used
trapped in
Twilight.
darkness?
Twilight
Yes.
used her transmogrifier spell to transform her into a plant while she was being trapped inside of the Soul Self.
And since that was Soul Self, it didn't really matter what Raven's physical form was. Since
Correct. Yes.
she's
Because
magic.
the Soul Self, it's its own separate entity. It's
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, it operates on its own.
Yeah,
Okay.
so even if Raven is transformed or taken out, the Soul Self will still do what it has to do.
And I'm noticing when Twilight was
Like
trapped
colliding
inside
to things at Mark 36.
I love when they do
yeah,
that.
about
actually.
that.
She's used it as a physical hit so many times. But when she was trapped inside of Raven's soul self, she got drained of her color, which signifies what exactly?
Yeah.
That she doesn't have her powers,
But so Raven can suck energy.
or like emotionally numb.
Was it that Raven could drain energy, or Twilight was just out of it?
No, I
Yeah,
think it drains emotions,
That, yeah.
And
Which I'll get into that when
where Twilight's
explain
powers
mine.
come from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew that's where they both came from. I was just wondering if, Raven
Oh boy.
absorbed them in some shit, and then Twilight, struggles to use her horn or something, but fails,
Yeah.
and then gets crushed by the soul self. But just
Yeah.
I think there's more to it than that, but I can't really remember.
I'll get to it when I do my part.
Look again. I
Oh,
couldn't assume nothing because
It's fine.
It didn't really explain what, like, it showed what Twilight was capable of doing, but not of like, of what her weaknesses are to what Raven can do per se.
Well, technically, Twilight has no weaknesses, despite what Death Battle
Just-
told you. She has.
Isn't she like compulsive something?
That was only in season 2. Ever since then, that's been something she's gotten over. She's literally like Laura Croft. She's able to keep a steady head and remain cool.
Well,
under
I
pressure.
don't think that compulsive whatever really happened in battle anyway.
No, it wouldn't. No,
Yeah, I don't
because-
see why.
Well,
would it
no,
even
it
matter?
didn't. It didn't happen in Death Battle.
No, and the fact that they brought that up was completely a little
Filler
redundant.
information, kind of.
Yes, exactly. It
Which
was,
I've done before. I mean,
Yeah,
not always relevant.
yeah,
Just fun facts.
yeah. So
But I mean, again, regardless of what they told about Twilight, I was still throwing my cards towards Raven. Just seemed like she would just be much more powerful because she's taken on most of what Twilight can already do. Like, let's just forget all the emotional magic for 1 second and say, okay, Raven's gone against people who telekinetically throw things. Raven's gone against people who shoot lasers. Raven's gone against people who's used magic. So I mean, it's not like it
Yeah.
was too hard to figure out. Well, let me ask you, Richard, has Twilight really ever fought anybody in MLP that's near to Raven's level? Power?
yes, she
Okay.
has.
Alone or with friends? Because apparently that's
Alone, and with friends. She's been able to take on, even if she doesn't have her friends by her side, she can take them on and be
Okay,
on
so
their level.
now I've seen MLP.mobs, and as dumb as they are, I know that she fights, what's his name, Discord, the giant weird appendage dragon, right?
Yeah,
Whatever it is.
who's a reality warper.
Okay.
Yeah,
He's much cooler looking in the dot mobs.
yeah, it's all right.
I'm
So-
serious. He looks badass, and he's with the giant Satan with a Wolf Mother T-shirt.
yeah. Any other points, Beatle5?
I mean, not really. I just
Okay. So it was a good.
most
was a good-
fights I could just usually predict pretty nicely. So
That's good.
yeah, throw out to Raven.
Cool.
What about you, Duo?
I I'm gonna be honest with you. As entertaining as it was, there weren't a lot of memorable moments for me. Except for one. It was one that kind of scarred my brain.
It's the one where she plays with the ponies in the beginning, making a Go reference. Am I right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that
Honestly, I
that
didn't
made me
know that was a Go reference.
It is a
trust
Go
me, that
reference.
hurt inside too. That was not fun to watch.
I was like, why death battle? Why?
Gotta make a
'Cause
joke somehow.
I was watching the
I
pre-analysis.
just thought that was a funny way to set the fight up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're hurting that much of a fan base because I don't think
No,
anybody
no,
likes
no.
Go.
No, the Go fan base is already hurting itself.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, dude, you're not really offending anybody if you say anything about that.
I know, but
I've
it's just-
tried for 5 years. I still can't do anything.
I just can't. I can't.
I've
handle
referenced a certain
the-
character
Go.
dying in Death Battle so many times and don't get hate for it.
Exactly.
But anyway,
Despite how
again,
messed
it
up
was
the fan base is.
very entertaining to watch. It just didn't have a lot of memorable moments. It didn't like say, this is like an epic battle between these two. It felt more like a filler episode in a way. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like filler.
I'm
I
pretty
can
sure
see
that's,
where-
I'm pretty sure that's what you get when you throw a pony in, because even though they could compete against, let's say, DC heroes, you still really can't take them seriously. Just them being what they are.
Right.
I honestly think Duo thinks that about this episode because of what's next.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know jack shit about the next two fighters.
We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, we'll get to it. I was just saying that because I know Duo really likes at least one of them.
hmm
Definitely one of them. But I learned a little bit about the other, but we'll get to that.
Yes.
But
Right.
like I said, it was, to me, it was entertaining, just not very memorable in my opinion, but still entertaining.
I'll remember just because it was Raven, and I just Raven my favorite two Titans.
I remember every Death Battle, so
I have to remember this one.
Of course.
And before Richard goes on and on and on, I'm going to say one last thing. There's a chance this might be the last pony we ever see in Death Battle.
Breaks my heart.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past them.
I was actually talking to some people about I wouldn't mind seeing Pinkie Pie coming back
Thank
Why?
you.
to face Unikitty.
Thank you. Well, okay.
Unikitty from the Lego movie.
Well,
Yeah.
that and her own TV show. Unikitty has her own TV show on Cartoon Network.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes. It's been decent.
Yeah, I mostly found that out because of the commentary for this episode. They were just talking about how they kind of feel like they've gone over a lot of stuff this series has to offer. I mean, unless, like, I don't know, the next season happens and, like, Twilight, like, sneezes galaxies, or, like, one of them becomes, like, a master duelist with swords.
Can she do that?
She has the potential to, but I mean, MLP is unfortunately ending next year, so it'll be. So yeah, we'll see what happens.
I forgot to add one more thing to
Sure.
To the episode. I will have to say with the analysis, it threw me off a lot.
For who?
Because I thought Twilight was gonna win. What
Made you think that?
After the analysis, I did not think that.
What threw me off was the whole feat that she moved the moon and the sun.
She
And I
did.
thought like, okay, compare that to the island of the Teen Titans Tower. I said that's like I said, yeah, she definitely is gonna win.
But didn't they say that Twilight had help from like the Queen Pony in order to
they
do
said
that?
it after the
I'll
battle.
get to that whenever I.
They said it
I don't
after
think
the
so.
battle?
I don't think she did that on her own.
She has the potential. She can do it on her. She has the potential to do it on her own.
But
can't.
has she actually done it in canon? Whether or not they
No.
just said it?
Yes, by her. Yes,
They
Not-
even provided a clip to, like,
that was
evidence
from.
it.
Well, I'll get to that. Just
Right. So
it's kind of like the scenario how they say Virgil's sword in Devil May Cry can cut through anything, but yet proven physically it
Again,
can't even cut through Lady's rocket launchers. So that's why
I'll
I'm saying,
get to it.
though they say Twilight has the potential to move suns and moons,
Yeah.
has she actually done it?
I'll get to it. I'll
Right.
explain everything.
So that was one that, like, I didn't mind being thrown off because sometimes it makes me make sure that when it comes to research, make sure you go through every little detail possible.
And normally
Like,
Death Battle's
never
pretty
forget-
thorough. I mean, they do their homework. They have to be super
Oh.
careful these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's
Right.
also things that they can't go over all the time because they still need to make it like an episode for just about everyone to watch.
Well, I guess it's my turn. I've been saying I'll talk about it, so let me crack my knuckles.
Okay.
Oh,
Because
I'm gonna turn off the volume on my headphones. Let me know when he's done.
I
Oh,
can't.
come
no,
on.
you're staying. No.
I'm joking.
No. I'll
Wow.
keep it. Time me. I'll keep it under as because I'm not going to go into super long details. But if it's okay with you guys, just let me do my thing.
Oh yeah, may as well. No one else will probably tell me this stuff.
Yeah, no, it's okay. I'll just start off by saying I've been requesting this match for a long time. It means a lot to me because I love both Raven and Twilight. One's my childhood, one's my modern day favorite cartoon, so there's a lot of personal preference that I have towards this fight that I was hoping Death Battle would take this seriously because this is the one fight they were supposed to take seriously.
Well, they took it about as seriously as it could have been.
Yes, but
Yeah.
the analysis for both Raven and Twilight was other disappointing. It was completely inaccurate for both characters. But the animation, hands down, the animation was amazing. My friend Lewis.
Was that also made by your friend who did Batman versus Panther?
No. Lewis is the one who's been animating some of the fights for Death Battles, going all the way back to Cammy versus Sonya.
Lewis
He's
is
the
the
one-
one that's in house.
Yeah. He's an amazing, talented animator. He put a lot of heart and passion into this, and I couldn't thank him enough for that. And he put a lot of great references and callbacks to it, which made me smile. And Kira did an amazing job as both Raven and Twilight. And I was just happy for this fight, animation-wise. But
I thought it was amusing how, was it? Your friend, who I'm assuming he had to take sprites for characters, right?
yes, they also have their own custom sprite animator.
Right. Well, it's
Gotcha.
obvious that they took Twilight sprite from that MLP fighting game.
Kind
that
of,
exists
yeah,
somewhere out
but
there. But they had to create pixelized wings for her
Yeah,
because that
he
model
also-
didn't have wings.
Yeah, he also created his own unique movements for her because with Pinkie Pie sprites and Deadpool versus Pinkie Pie, those were actually stock footage from some of the games. But with Twilight, it was all her own original movements.
And I'm pretty sure the Raven sprite was custom made.
Oh,
that
yeah.
that was like her Injustice modeled Raven, and that wasn't even digitized in any game. But I'm pretty sure there've been Teen Titans Game Boy games that they could have taken her Teen Titans cartoony look. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking they wanted to take her more iconic DC look for it.
Yeah.
Or they
but,
might have got it from Mugen. From the
Kind of,
Mugen.
Oh yeah, you can make sprites for everything. That's also true.
Yeah. So, animation-wise, this fight was amazing. It was, in my opinion, better than Batman versus Black Panther, but that's just me.
I actually will agree with you on that one.
Yes,
This
yes.
fight-
Oh, definitely.
It definitely was better.
Yeah, but analysis-wise, and where the chunk of this episode was supposed to take both these characters as good as they could, unfortunately, it was not the case. Raven and Twilight were represented at 50% best, so at least that matters, and I'm happy they did that, but there were so many inconsistencies and things they didn't look into, like the whole
Like what?
Souls
I'm
do
pretty
not
sure
have...
they looked into them behind the
Da, da,
scenes,
da, da, da.
but
Let me explain. Souls do not have mass, and if they were to have mass, that would be difficult to calculate. And the fact that they went ahead and did that really shows that they just rushed through it. But again, I can
Raven's source out flying through stone and shit in not only Teen Titans but also
Yes,
in built in
that's
Judith's
true,
contract
that's
and even
true.
comics has shown
And-
that it has physical properties.
yes, but
and
The
blocks
measurements of that
attacks
were
as well.
incorrect is-
well, again, it's more complicated than I can explain.
Also,
because
calculating the mass, saying it's equal to Raven when it's clearly not, giving a
No.
logo to show that
Yes.
Raven's just that much more powerful.
Whenever
Yes,
Death Battle
well-
does stuff like mathematics or that kind of shit, I just trust them. 'cause
yeah, well,
I'm no mathematician,
unfortunately,
so.
that was not the case here, and I've seen so many other people give their own better calculations, but that's just my opinion. But Raven was, for the most part, fine. It's just the inconsistencies on her were baffling, and it really made me a little disappointed that they couldn't take extra time to really iron it out. But again, that's for their own reason, and I understand that. Twilight, on the other hand...
Hold on, is it only just the soul self having physical form
No,
and
it's
shape? Is
also
that
her
the one thing that bothers you? Or?
It's also her speed and the fact of the feats they gave her. I really felt
I would jump in and say stuff to defend Death Battle, but whether or not Richard lets me is another story.
It's fine. Well, I'm going to defend them as well. I'm playing devil's advocate here. You know, Twilight was the majority where the problems lied. First of all, she, her magic reserves are actually quite more powerful than Death Battle let on, and I know this because I did my own research, and I'm very confident that there were stuff they weren't telling people, but I understand those reasons. And her moving the moon's feet, yes, by herself, without that magic, it's difficult for her to move the moon, but it actually is possible. She can move the moon because of what species she is now. And those
she's like an apricorn or something.
Yeah,
alicorn.
Yeah. Alicorns have 1/4 the power to move the moon. So Twilight by herself can move it. It's just with other alicorns helping her, it's much more easier, if that makes sense.
How quickly can she move the moon if she only has 1/4 of the power?
Not as quick as you think it, but pretty slow.
Then that could take it to factor. She can move a moon, but ever so slowly. I mean,
pretty much, yes. So that part
exactly.
they actually, that part I wish they would have mentioned. But also too, the fact that what really kind of makes everyone upset, and where I can see this coming from, is that they were calculating Twilight's durability the wrong way. Instead of mostly taking that Tirak feat where she went through a mountain, instead of taking Twilight's feats from her own durability feats, because she actually was so durable, Pinkie Pie screamed so loud she shook whole mountains, and Twilight was standing right next to her. This was before.
I say with Pinkie Pie, it's iffy because she breaks physics and
it's not like
that stuff.
Raven
So
has
it's possible
similar
that was a
powers.
similar case.
This is true. But still, they took the wrong durability feat for Twilight, and Death Battle doesn't normally do that.
Well,
and
for that feat, if say Twilight was fighting against somebody like Black Canary or Sindel from Mortal Kombat, who both have supersonic screaming abilities, and it would be worth mentioning. With Raven not having that power, it's
yeah. Well, as I said,
like, what does that prove? That you have super years, that you don't collapse.
This is true.
I'm just trying to think of what worth that feat is.
Yeah, but Twilight was
that's
unfortunately very misrepresented. They did the best they could with the circumstances they had, and I know your only mate is shaking his head right now, but the evidence,
No, you listen to it, Matt.
I know. The evidence is, there is evidence, and there is nobody who did this fight more better than Jaru, who does his own Death Battle predictions. Now, be in mind, Jaru is not a brony, nor is he a fan of Teen Titans. He hates comic books. He also respects MLP, but he wouldn't call himself a fan. He did more precise and better calculations and showed physical proof why Twilight would stand a better chance against Raven than Death Battle let on. But he never said Twilight would win. I'm not even saying Twilight would win, because I can't say Twilight would win. As much as I want to, I do believe Raven would win, not because Raven is the better character, not because of these feats, but because of one little problem. She's a DC character. She is so goddamn inconsistent. It's ridiculous.
You have nobody to blame for that but DC, really.
Yes, of course. But one last thing I will say, Jaru and I both agree on this, and the fact that Death Battle didn't even mention this, it's baffling, and it makes them look kind of bad on their part, but I won't blame them, because again, they're my friends, and I respect them, and I love them as friends. Mm-hmm. But Twilight is the physical embodiment of light magic, and what is Raven weak to? What can put Raven down? Not for the count, but what is she trying to keep inside of her? Positive and negative emotions.
Wait. You said
Okay,
light
this-
energy. Is that composed of like a positive emotion state, or
Basically,
Hold on, before we
define
before we
light
go
energy.
any further, this was brought up in Death Outcast. I can't remember like which way it is in like the comics or show, but it's Dr. Light who
I was
uses
just about to make that
specifically-
comment. That's why I was asking. He
Okay.
does physical energy, like projected energy light.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
no,
it-
Unless Twilight has some sort of positive
I'll let your only mate
motion,
explain.
like kind of shit. Or
I'll
whatever.
let your only mate explain, and then I'll explain what I'm really talking
But
about.
I was about to say about Dr. Light, but yeah, go ahead. Nate.
Go ahead, Dominic.
Yeah, so he specifically uses just light to fight Raven, and
As like
I
an
can't
energy
remember if it's the
projection, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. So not light-based magic.
Oh
Light.
no, it's definitely not magic.
I can't remember if it's like the comics or the show, but in one of them, Raven is weak to that, but in the other, he is weak to Raven's power.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
so
say
it's
Dr.
kind
Light
of
is
iffy.
weak to Raven's power so much as he just flips shit whenever he's engulfed in darkness. I mean, there was that one time where Dr. Light was connected to like the super crystal that was buried underground that was guarded by, oh lord, what was her name? She was also voiced by Tara Strong. The little girl who's pink, she could turn to a crystal and she's
Yeah,
held
I know
by
who you're
Gunnar.
talking about. I know
Yeah.
who you're talking about.
At that point in time, Dr. Light was like at full power with whatever crystal was at, and he was able to just wipe out every Teen Titans just because plot-wise he was a great threat, and none of the Teen Titans can take him down at this given time. That doesn't necessarily mean that Raven is weak to energy projectile light, per se.
Yeah.
Which leads
Yeah.
me back to my question, though, Richard. Would describe what you mean by when Twilight has light inside of her. What does that
When
mean?
I mean light, I'm not talking about Dr. Light's light
You're
energy.
not talking about a physical manifestation of light.
No, I'm talking about emotion. She is the physical
Okay.
embodiment of light emotions, and
Which is
Raven.
also positive, I'm assuming.
yes, positive emotions, which that
Okay.
is one of Raven's. If Raven is in anywhere near positive emotions, she gets weakened and she starts flipping out. It's like her kryptonite. So, and in Ponyland, in Equestria, everyone around that whole city is all positive emotion. And if Raven were to go anywhere near there,
Hold on, so you're saying if Raven was around the city and affected by all these other ponies alongside Twilight,
no, I'm not
then
saying
that would hinder her, aka outside help.
No, I'm not, and I'm saying Twilight
what?
by her. No,
Well,
by
hold on, hold on.
herself, Twilight is she's the princess of friendship. She
Yeah.
has more positive emotions inside of her than all of the ponies in Equestria combined. So that emotion should have weakened Raven. It's a state fact, and there is physical evidence to prove this. So I'm not
okay.
just.
I'm pretty sure Raven
Okay,
has
but
dealt with
Twilight
it.
has, so she has this light energy inside her that is like an aura of sorts. Let's assume.
Yes, because Raven keeps all of her emotions in check. If she's
Right,
around,
she has to do that though in order to keep Trigon.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
but let me
if
ask you
she-
this though: Raven has the ability to change emotion. Can Twilight physically change emotion? Because if she can't, then what Raven could do if presented in that scenario, just basically make it Gloomsville in that whole area and pan out any positive energy around her.
well, see, here's the thing: that whole thing where Twilight got her powers sucked away by the Soul Self. That's unfortunately inaccurate because when when everyone in Ponyville is drained of their emotions, that doesn't mean their magic goes away. It still stays with them because
Wait,
Twilight-
every pony can use magic?
without their emotions, yes. So
what are we talking, like high level laser shooting magic, or just like moving things?
I'm pretty sure they mentioned the magic in MLP is tied to a pony's emotions.
yes,
And even-
that would
No,
stand
uh,
to reason
no,
if you
they're-
could make said magic more offensive as
Yes,
say,
but see, here's the thing. I can prove to you Twilight has been through what she was in this death battle before because Discord sucked away her emotions. But she was able to still use her magic to create an antidote to not only restore her emotions and the emotions of everyone else. So,
So
if you
she just popped an antidote out of thin air.
pretty much. So she can't lose her magic due to losing her emotions. It's even if she loses her horn, she can still use it.
There's
So
been
the fact
scenarios
that
where she's lost her horn.
no, but it's been shown that if a pony loses their horn, if they're magic users, they can still use magic. So the fact that Death Battle,
So what can stop them from using magic? If anything?
nothing. There is nothing. You know, they can still be beaten. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that Death Battle didn't mention these things is
It just seems like a very hard topic to push around because
It's true, yes.
Whether or not its fan base is of, let's say, people like you, Richard, it's still in its rawest form a show made for children.
Well-
So what they have to do because it's a children's show is that they can't really make it look like it's a dire situation where a pony could straight up lose or, dare I say it, die.
Well-
So there really is no actual negative points in that show where it looks like a pony could lose.
well, there
Because
has
as a children's
actually.
show, it's got to maintain the image of victory.
I know. Well, unfortunately, that the MLP, the newest incarnation, has broken that stereotype because the ponies, Twilight herself, have lost. They've been in near-death situations.
Okay,
But yeah,
well,
they-
that's a different story. Then I don't.
Yeah, but my ultimate point is this. I'm not going to go into too far on what was wrong with this because Jaru figured it out. He presented the evidence, and I'll send it to all of you. I know your only mate doesn't want to watch it, which is fine. But the fact that Jaru and myself figured this out and we presented the evidence we did, it does kind of show that Death Battle rushed this out, which I can understand. And I want to make sure that your only mate doesn't give me the head turn. I am best friends with Death Battle. I'm friends with half the crew. I understand and defend them from people who, don't understand.
I just feel like when
And-
they're touching something as touchy as this, you got to cut them a little bit of slack because
Yes,
they have to be very, very careful with the information they pull out. Of something.
Absolutely, yes. And these death battles take
Also,
up
they can't
months.
go on as long as I know Richard would like them to, because you've got to think of the rest of the viewing audience. Not everyone is going to want to watch an hour-long death battle
Yeah,
about
if they
a
went
pony.
as far as Twilight being able to pop up an antidote.
I understand. Oh, you're
Oh,
cutting
that's the
out.
reason why Goku vs. Superman was only half an hour long. The
Hold
original
on.
would have been a whole
But
hour.
that one had so much info on both parties. They could afford to do that.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree. So that argument your only made is very flawed, but it does hold true to most of the time. But I will say this.
Honestly,
Oh,
most of the
wait,
fights like
hold on,
Goku
wait,
vs.
wait,
Superman,
wait.
I think, need a
Let
little
Richard
extra.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, beatle5. You had something to say?
No, he was saying let you talk.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I will say this. I know everyone right now is going to call me out. I'm prepared for it. If you want to rip me a new asshole, go ahead. But
It's not
Look.
fun. I don't like it.
His channel's in the description.
yeah, but no, look.
Oh,
Like I
If
said,
you're sick of him bitching, go there.
yes, but something your only mate and I, we're two people who agree to disagree on these things. But I'll say this so he can smile. I am best friends with these guys. I respect them, I defend them, and I understand the circumstances they're in. And honestly, all I wanted was them to have as much time as they could to work on this. But unfortunately, that wasn't going to happen. So I take what I can get. But the fact that they still tried, they put 50% of Twilight up against 60% of Raven, really makes me happy. And for that, I couldn't thank them for doing everything in their power to make sure this episode was entertaining. And still to this day, it's them I have to thank for getting me into MLP. And I'm never going to drop that. So I understand the hardships they go through. And I just want everyone to know, and no matter how many times people tell me, my relationship with them will not end simply because they got something I loved wrong. It'll keep improving.
Is this
It's
the
my
first
hope.
time they've done that out of curiosity? Because it's not
No,
like Virgil versus Sephiroth was my first no scenario. So
No.
it hurt the
No.
most,
At the end
but
of
it
the
was
day,
the
guys,
first.
at the end of the day, anyone who does research for any show, it's never going to be perfect.
No, they're just fans
Never.
like us who can
And we
speculate.
interpret it different ways. A lot of people. That's why I always say to people when it comes to these results, there's no clear-cut result.
No, there
It's
isn't.
just a possible outcome.
Yes, and I
think
take it
Steph
like
does
that.
it more accurately than anybody else. in my
Exactly. Yes. This is
Exactly.
just Your Only Mate said this was fan fiction, and it is. It's fan fiction with entertainment, and I'm happy that they put so much time and effort into it. So, to end my segment, I enjoyed this episode. It was flawed, but it was at least more entertaining than Batman versus Black Panther. And I wanted
Your
it
Only Mate, speak for yourself, man. I don't look at Charizard versus Greymon as fanfiction. That is canon set in stone for life.
Honestly, when I
Over
say
so
that
many
was
years that I
fanfiction,
have
just
friends
mean
that say Pokemon's better than Digimon, and I'm like,
One of these days, I'll have to buy You Only Made a pint of beer, a pint of lager.
ew.
But yeah, so Your Only Mate, cheer up, man.
Just to clear that up, whenever I say a death battle is, well, technically fan fiction, you are writing a fight between two fictional characters from different universes meeting up and having a fight to the death that isn't canon.
it's
Either of
only
them.
as canon as the fans make it, really.
This is true.
Like,
Yeah,
if they're
okay.
super committed to the results and it spreads far enough, it'll eventually become fact.
Yeah,
Like,
I
for
just need-
example,
yeah.
it's fact. That's
Yes.
just
How
how
it goes.
my
at
fellow
this point
Brony
in
and
time.
Pega sisters, if you're upset to them to the point you're taking it too far, then you're not fans, you're fanatics. I'm going to maintain the fact that I'm a fan. I'm a fan who just...
I say that about another fan base, so I won't go into
Yes, so I'm still... My friendship with them is magic, so that's not going away.
Oh, that was hilarious.
Thank you. So, yes.
that. I'm not doing those
Even
on the
I know what
spot.
that means.
Yeah, so if it's okay, now that we're done, can we talk about something that's not girly
Yeah,
and
let's
talk about
move
something with testosterone?
Oh,
We're talking
please.
Lots of
Anyways.
testosterone.
Before,
We're
before you
talking
guys get ahead of
man.
yourself, before you guys get ahead of yourself, I need to stop the timer I actually set. Richard went on for over 20 minutes.
Woo!
Wow.
New
Ooh,
minute!
hooray for rants.
Hooray!
I don't think you should be proud of that. Anyway,
It was. Hey,
Hey,
Let
dude,
me ask you.
Dude, I could beat his record by ranting on about Teen Titans. Are you kidding
this
me?
is true. But
fair enough.
I could have gone on for 40
Anyway.
minutes, only mate.
I would have contributed more.
And if you did, I would have flown over to America and punched you.
Where are you?
I love you too. He's in New England.
England.
Oh, damn, dude, nice.
I'm not in New England, Richard. I'm just in England.
Aw.
England.
I'm in New England.
In the British Kingdom.
See, this is why we don't let you moderate these anymore.
Oh, I love you too. You're only mate.
Anyway, I'm gonna turn my webcam off and mute my mic because I gotta set up in a different room as it's getting late and stuff. The next death battle
What
is.
time is it over there?
I won't go into too much detail of the circumstances or anything, but anyway, I'll just set up in another room and I'll be
Yeah,
right back.
just say the
The
title.
next death battle.
Oh, okay. No, he doesn't have to tell me. It's all good.
The next death battle is Jotaro Kujo from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure versus Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, see, I recognize that. Oh, cool. His picture is Sarge.
Yes, he's a hardcore red versus blue.
Oh,
fan.
dude, I fucking love him. But,
Yes.
I was saying, I knew that the first guy, he looked JoJo styled character, so I'm thinking, okay, he's from JoJo. And the second guy, I'm like, I've not watched Fist of the North Star. And don't get me wrong, I've watched a shit ton of animes. I keep a list on my phone.
You're missing out if you haven't seen Fist of North Star.
I've
Awesome.
seen a
Awesome.
couple of episodes.
It
I'm
looks
still
very,
trying to catch
it
up.
looks very DBZ animated, like hand drawn.
Well, that's the thing. It came out before Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah.
before Dragon Ball or Z.
No, it came out before Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, okay.
Actually, no,
I'm
wait.
like, are you sure? Okay, because like.
Actually,
Dragon
no, wait.
Ball-
It did come out before Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball came out in 1989, and Dragon Ball Z came out, I think, in 1991, if I'm correct.
When did Fist of the North came out?
1988,
Oh, so it just beats him by 1 year. Okay.
pretty much.
But
So,
it's an awesome anime.
yes, it is.
It's
Is it-
like
is it
anime.
long? Is it like Bleach long or not?
I
Kind of.
think there are a lot of episodes. There's actually
Just because I don't watch animes that have an episode level as long as Bleach or One Piece anymore.
Oh, God, yes.
Nope, sorry. The only one I ever committed to for the longest time was Fairy Tail, and even now I've fallen out of it. So
Understandable.
I like
Yes.
But-
short 13 to 24 episode animes.
But yeah, with Fist of North Star, there's a lot to cover. So, there's a lot to cover.
What's special about him? Because JoJo has, in a sense, like Raven, a soul self that has a mind of its own and like can fight. Yeah, it can like fight other ghost things per se. What's special about Kenshiro?
Oh,
okay.
I was gonna send you something for the purposes of this, but I forgot. So if you want, I can still send.
Does he have like a super fist or something? Like
no, it's
what it is that Kenshiro learns the way of Hoto Shinken.
Okay.
It's a ancient martial arts where it relies on using not just 30% of your strength, which most average human beings use, but it can tap into the other 70%. Also, the techniques are mostly pressure point based.
Yes, pressure points.
Like Neji from Naruto. Okay.
Pretty much so. But it's a very dangerous art that can only be one successor of Hoto Shinken. That's how dangerous this art is. There was a Fist of the North Star, which is the successor. There was a Raiken, and he had 4 adopted sons. One was Toki, the other was Rao, the other was Jaggi, and then you have Kenshiro. And he trained all 4 of them. But the thing was, only one can be the successor of the Fist of the North Star. And once he
it's kind of like how only one can master the Satsune no Hado, in a sense.
Something like that.
Street Fighter stuff.
But the rules are that once the former Fist of the North Star chooses the successor, the others who are learning Hoto Shinken, they have to have their hands crippled. Or, as they say, have their fists sealed. I mean, pretty much, they can no longer fight anymore with their hands.
Okay, I just looked it up. Was it Hakunedo Ken? That's the Japanese word. Is so it's got 36 episodes, and then what? A second season?
There is a second season, yeah. Like I think it was Fist of North Star 2.
Has this series concluded?
Oh yeah, it's been long.
It has concluded, and there was a we returned with new animation and whatnot.
Yeah,
it was just
more of these. Some of them, there's a few movies here. I'm just looking at
and there was a like an OVA movie in a way.
And there were 2 live action adaptations. One of them.
There's a new Fist of the North Star.
That's the one that's the new anime with the new anime style. But it was still the same. But anyway, his techniques are very dangerous. To the point where if he punches you the right way, like he hits the right pressure point, your body can explode.
Like that.
Cool.
Just like that. The other is there are other techniques to Hoto Shinken where he can press a pressure point where you're forced to tell the truth.
Not much good at doing a physical fight.
Oh yeah, pretty much. But he can also heal himself and also heal others with the technique as well. Which is also say if you get stabbed in the stomach, if he touches the right pressure point, he can make the wound close and you can survive.
Okay.
Again, not useful in a battle, probably for himself.
So he has the healing factor. Does JoJo have some kind of healing?
Is this thing finally working again?
Yeah, we see you.
Okay, I had to change different connections in the middle of that.
It's okay.
Kind of annoying.
It's all right. So yeah,
does
he can.
JoJo have a healing factor?
Of some sense, yeah.
As far as I know, no. I mean, I think he can heal others, but he's. Sorry.
Can you talk about JoJo? Does he have a healing?
As I said, I'm not sure.
I've been doing basic research for this, mostly because I'm just not that familiar with either Jotaro or Kenshiro.
Neither am I.
But from what I can tell of everything I've gathered so far, in theory, all Kenshiro really needs to do is land one hit and then he's won.
Yeah.
But it depends. It depends
so he's a
on
one-punch man complex.
Kind of.
But because of Jotaro's stand, that kind of makes it difficult. I think it's called Star Platinum, isn't it?
Star Platinum is the name.
Stands can only be seen by other stands and stand users, which Kenshiro is not. I don't know if he's dealt with anything like that in his own series.
Actually, he has.
Okay, then that clears some things up for me.
So, here's the thing about Kenshiro, about the Hoto Shinken. He can also go into a state of consciousness, or like say a power of nothingness, known as I'm hoping I'm gonna pronounce this right, Matsui Tensai.
There you go.
There we go. And he goes to a state of consciousness where his soul can do the fighting for him. So in a way, he has his own stance. He can actually fight a stance, no problem. But even if he didn't use that, I believe he can also detect where the stance is going.
I was about to say, does the stand, like, it can't be seen by non-stand users, but
Yes,
does,
right.
it still does it still exist in the physical world? Like,
Yeah,
can it be
I think it
touched?
does.
Yes, you can still
Okay, so
pretty much a
Kenshiro-
stand can't
so they
touch you.
can touch it regardless, then you can't see it. Okay.
Right, he can't see it, but Kenshiro can detect other aura from
Okay.
other people.
Like
Like he
Naruto,
can
okay,
be
detects-
blindfolded
Yeah.
and can fight an army if he
That's
wanted
Jesus.
to.
Lots of anime characters can do that. It's like the
I know,
generic
but I'm just
it's like just the generic recognition of energy, ki, chi, chakra kind of thing.
right, and also he's able to like even hear a person's heartbeat.
Oh,
like,
so he's
you know,
Superman too.
pretty much.
Nice.
Pretty much.
Superman and One Punch Man put together.
Oh.
Just Brock fucking bow.
The other thing that also needs to be addressed about Kenshiro is he is a genius when it comes to fighting. I mean, he's of course he's a master of his art.
Okay.
What were you gonna say something, Young Mate?
Yeah, I had a bunch of other points for what I think about this fight, not
Okay.
just the stand thing. But I mean, it still goes into the stand thing. But apparently, stands can only be hurt by other stands. So if that's the case,
Like
basically, Star Platinum is invincible.
well, I think because of the Musoi,
It's okay.
Fine.
Take your time. Take your time.
The mustard.
Musoi,
The mozzarella.
mozzarella, whatever. That's fine.
Hey, the
I think
mozzarella.
he might be able to lay a hand on the stand, because again, he goes into a state of consciousness, like a power of
But-
nothingness, where it becomes intangible. He
But
might
if-
be able to touch it, but
If
go
the
ahead.
stand can only be harmed by other stands, then yeah, he can touch him all he likes, but he can't hurt him.
Yeah, that's you know
Could
that's
Kenshiro
the
still,
thing.
like, say, beat the shit out of JoJo?
Yes, he
Yes.
can.
Regardless of the stand,
Yeah,
or would the
because,
stand always defend
JoJo's
him?
body is still human, and he can be one shot.
But the stand will always defend him.
Yeah, because their
yeah.
lives are tied. If the stand dies, the user dies, and if the user dies, the stand dies.
Yeah,
They're-
Well,
um,
from
they're
what you
very
just
connected.
said, it doesn't sound like the stand can be killed.
Yeah. Also, too,
Basically, you
Jotaro
have to
has
kill
limited
Jotaro.
stamina, and apparently, Star Platinum is a very short range fighter.
It is. It's
Okay.
it's a close range, and it can't be separate from the host for far away because it's so connected.
What's
But there are
the
other
main similarity between these two guys? Because Death Battle obviously pins people together. They're very similar.
There are,
Truthfully, I don't really know.
I
Like,
think
what's
it's
the
because
main
they're made
deal
from
with
the
these
same
two?
people, and they look
Made by the
alike,
same
and
people?
also they can throw a barrage of strikes at each other.
Okay, so it's kind of
example,
like how why Terry Bogard and Ken Masters are similar.
Right.
Okay.
But
So it's
like
just another
Star
generic-
Platinum, he can throw 1,000 punches in a second.
He can also stop time.
Yeah, but he can't
can he?
spam that. He can't spam that ability though.
How many times can he use it?
I heard that he can only do it like once per battle because there's a drawback to stopping time. He can only do it
Yeah,
for
I've
5
heard that.
seconds.
Is it like how when Mega Man stops time? He can't
Yeah, he can only do it for a
attack.
couple of seconds.
He can only do it for 5 seconds. However, though,
But if he can
Jotaro's
throw 1,000 punches in 1 second, couldn't he
I
just
was
throw
gonna say,
like
I can't
5,000
because I'm
punches
assuming
when
they
time
can.
is stopped?
I'm assuming these guys can punch faster than the speed of sound / light. So 5
well,
seconds. is
Star
more than
Platinum
enough
can
time.
do it with the speed of light, whereas Kenshiro is, from what I heard, hypersonic.
Okay, well, in hypersonic, 5 seconds is more than enough time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Or even in
I don't
light.
know. I don't know if this will like happen in the fight, but I remember this happening in the DBX, which was Jotaro versus Yu from Persona,
Mhm.
which was another highly requested fight for Jotaro. And since Cross Tag Battle is coming out, I thought that was going to happen
Oh,
instead.
I can't
but
wait for that
that
game. I'm a huge Blaze Blue fan, and I love that
Okay.
Ruby's coming to that.
Okay, I really want to talk to you about that afterwards.
But I don't know jack shit about Persona though.
Me
You'll
neither.
you'll lose me there. I've never played a Persona game. So.
Oh, me neither.
Okay.
Well, go ahead.
I just love the movie.
But yeah, spoiler alert for if you haven't seen that DBX, by the way. Jotaro wins by stopping time and having Star Platinum just beat the ever-loving hell out of you, walks away, restarts time, and then you just feels all those punches like instantly at the same time and then just explodes.
Oh, like how when the Flash punches, it does like the physical effect at first, and then as soon as he's done, the actual punches come like seconds later.
Yeah.
I think that's one of his moves in Injustice 2.
So in theory, couldn't you just do that to Kenshiro and then boom?
In theory, it could
Literally.
work, but
Yeah.
you're talking to a person that had a skyscraper fall on top of him, and the skyscraper didn't just crumble on him. It pretty much stood on his freaking head and broke away.
That's what else I'm thinking. Can Kenshiro withstand Star Platinum's assault and get one hit on Jotaro?
Well, in
Wasn't
theory,
this
yes.
fight- Wasn't
In
this fight
theory,
1 minute
yes.
melee?
Because here's the thing
Yeah,
It
about
was
was
on
on
1 minute melee.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
here's the
I think
thing
this was,
about
like, the fifth one that was a 1 minute melee first.
yeah.
What
Here's the
else
thing
was there?
about
Was it
Jotaro that
Yeah.
here's the
This
thing
one.
about
Jotaro, go ahead.
yeah. Jotaro has no formal combat training. He has very limited stamina, and the stance does all of the work for him.
I was gonna
So
say, it sounds like the stand is the only real thing that keeps him alive.
yes, it is actually the
Well,
stand.
for example, like when he was trying to prove to people that there's a presence, he had a gun.
Sorry.
He shot it to his head.
I saw it in the trailer and he grabbed the bullet. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's how fast
Oh,
the
shit.
stand is. It can pretty much catch a bullet at point blank range.
Okay, well, I mean, bullets are pretty fast, but I'm assuming Kenshiro is 1,000 tons faster than a bullet.
Kind of, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, but
he
I-
also Kenshiro is so strong. He literally punched through a tank and was able to crumble it with nothing but his bare fist.
So Kenshiro could just get past the stand, then at this point he could easily kill Jojo.
Yeah, because Jotaro is just human. So if Kenshiro hits
Who
him,
can stop
that's-
time?
Is Kenshiro not human? Or
He is human.
He's just a very enhanced human.
He's very enhanced because of the art that he learned.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's an enhanced human going up against a regular human with a stand. That's the only real thing from really just Kenshiro killing. Because see, that's the whole reason why Kenshiro
Well,
won't be
I was
able
gonna
to.
explain. I was gonna explain about Kenshiro
Sure, go ahead.
how he is in battle. That if he comes across, say, a character that he's never fought before, like a brand new martial arts that he's never faced, he will pick up on it as long as the fight progresses. Like I said, he's sort of like Goku, where he learns as he fights.
Ooh.
Perfect example of this. He fought this one character who was one of the Fist of the South Stars. Actually, with the Fist of the South Star, there are more than one. You can have more than one Fist of the South Star, but there can only be one Fist of the North Star.
What's so
And-
special about the North?
Again, it's a very dangerous art.
They got a lot
it's
of people
so-
down south who could use the South art.
But there was this one character, I believe his name is Salazar,
Mm-hmm.
and he fought
That
him
sounds
at
familiar.
first. He fought him at first, and Kenshiro lost because he thought he had him. He was able to do all the pressure points on him, and it didn't work on him. But then when he fought him the second time, he learned that, wait a minute, I hear his heart on the other side of his body. So all of his organs were reversed. And he learned that with his organs reversed, his pressure points were reversed also.
I'm sorry, organs reverse?
Yeah,
On the
like
other
his
side.
heart
That's
was
weird.
on the other side.
Like his heart's on the other side.
Like it was in his back.
No.
Not
Like
his
it was in the
chest.
opposite because the human heart. I know you can't.
Yeah, the
see
heart
my-
isn't in like the dead center. It's more like
No, it's by like
the
your
side
left,
a little.
your left,
Like
pec.
around your left,
So
but
you're
it's on
saying
his-
that it was reversed and it was by his right pec.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
I think that's what it is.
So he,
So everything-
he mirrors his organs. Then I see.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
That's a better explanation.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
You said
Sorry
reverse
about
on
that.
What?
But yeah, so that's so pretty much when he heard his heart on the other side of his body, that's when he learned that his pressure points are in different places. So he learned that, and then he was able to defeat him by pushing the right pressure points, and then Salazar died. And like I said, he kind of thinks, as he fights, when it depends on the person's style, and I think he might be able to do that with Jotaro, especially if he uses the stand, especially how he uses the stand as well, because he kind of uses it more as a defense rather than more offensive.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed too.
And with Kenshiro, he'll figure out a way to break through that defense to get to Jotaro himself to land in the right blow.
Interesting.
Well, from it right now, it seems obvious that Kenshiro will lose.
That's what everyone's been saying, but I never like to play. We never like to place our eggs in one basket.
I mean, this is the first time I've received so much
just
more
gonna
info
wait
before the analysis. So.
I'm really just gonna wait until the analysis.
Yeah.
I will wait till Death
Like I
Battle's
said,
analysis.
there's a
always do.
lot to cover with Kenshiro because what
Yeah.
I
I
have
gotta
to
say,
say,
from what I just saw in Kiss Anime, their series is pretty expansive.
yeah, like
The only thing I've ever
say
seen
is
him
only-
fight in, aside from the woman at Melee, was that video Team 4-Star made.
Yes. How could we not forget that?
Oh yeah, with him and Cell.
Sal.
Yeah.
Are you gonna eat that?
Then may I? You're already dead.
I'm looking
Oh,
forward to hearing
Christ!
that.
They would tell you already an asshole.
I drink people.
I'm
bitch.
actually looking forward to hear that line in Death Battle.
I hope they get
in Japanese though. In
I
Japanese.
hope they get the same voice actor who played Kenshiro, not only in Cell versus Kenshiro, but also Fist of the North Star
I don't think
Abridged.
they've actually mentioned that they're gonna have voice actors in this fight.
I hope they do, because
I mean, something tells me that they'll either have voice actors, because they could easily contact their friends of Team 4-Star, because they've done shit with them before.
Either-
Or they can, what they'll most likely do, because I think this is what they did in the 1 Minute Melee, is have to speak Japanese.
they could, yeah. Which
We'll just
I
have
would
like
mind.
Which
voice
all they really have
clips
to do is
from
just get
various
voice
things.
clips.
Yeah, yeah.
I still
but-
really want to hear their cries when they're throwing multiple punches, like
Oh
collide.
God, yes.
yeah, they want to get that.
Versus. Ooh. Wow. I think I did those right.
Yeah, that's good.
Is there anything more you want to know about Kenshiro?
I mean, I doubt I'm gonna watch the anime myself, so pretty much about it. Well, I looked at it. It's 152 episodes. No, thank you. No.
So,
There's a lot of things and messed up things he has done with that technique, including
I'm
hitting a
not
pressure
surprised.
point that's gonna cause your muscles to break your own back.
yeah. So,
Stuck on that, Bane.
any last predictions? Because we should make a prediction.
I still pray now and every day that Ruby will fight Maka.
That's
That dream. That dream is never gonna die ever.
It will
well, that
happen.
is confirmed to happen at some point in Death Bell, but I don't think it's going to happen this year.
Or next year.
That's the only thing, because the series is so in deep right now. They have to.
Plus, we still
Yeah,
don't
they gotta
know
tell
exactly
more.
what Ruby Silver Eyes can do.
Exactly, they gotta tell a lot more lore behind that. So.
Yes, no, but so any predictions on Jotaro versus Kenshiro?
Yeah, for what you said, so long as you didn't really declare a way Kenshiro could kill the stand, but let's say he gets around him or some other sense, if he can out like beat the stand in some sense and just get to JoJo, he'll win.
Yeah, this is kind of like, I remember
He
in...
doesn't have to kill the stand, actually. He just has to kill JoJo.
Naruto versus Ichigo.
Uh-oh.
No, I was going to bring this up. It was like a reference to one of Max's reactions to Death Bell. It was Deadpool versus Deathstroke. It's kind of a similar situation to how he thought about that fight. Let's say JoJo's stand is doing all this stuff and Kenshiro has to keep up with it. In theory, all he has to do is get one lucky shot in and hit JoJo once, and then boom, it's over.
Yeah, which isn't impossible.
If anybody's familiar with Kingdom Hearts, JoJo and the stand, it's kind of like how Ansem has his ghost behind him in a sense. Like, you're not going to want to hit the ghost. You're going to want to hit Ansem.
Right.
Pretty much.
That's
Familiar with
pretty much
Kingdom
similar. Because
Yeah.
did I tell you how strong Star Platinum is?
How strong is it?
Well, from what I saw in the trailer, he's the strongest stand, right?
He's the strongest stand in I think
Of
in
course.
that whole series.
Right.
Even able to break diamonds with his teeth.
Jesus Christ!
Wow.
That's Star Platinum. That's
But not
Star
with his,
Platinum.
but not with
Not-
his hands.
No.
I was told that he can break diamond with his hands too, but he
I was
can
gonna say, so
also bend.
unless he intends to bite Kenshiro.
That's true.
I'm just asking because they're gonna go that far in depth.
Just go
so-
straight for the jugular.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But
so-
he is strong
Oh, that
enough
would be
to
so
bend
brutal.
to bend steel, to bend thick steel. Well, so can Kenshiro. He can do the same thing.
Oh, that's right.
But the only thing I can say that the only advantage I feel that Jotaro has is speed. That's the
Yeah.
Jotaro himself or the stand?
Yeah, because the
The
stand.
stand.
Is,
The
yeah,
stand.
the stand has. See, that's the thing. The stand is literally a shield.
Plus the stop
Yeah,
time.
we have to look into the durabilities and
Yeah,
all
'cause
the feats of
Jotaro
both of them.
is a regular human who has very limited stamina and has no combat training. of his
Wait!
own.
Didn't the trailer say that he does all these fist fights and shit on the street?
Yeah, but he
Yeah,
has
but
no
that's
formal training.
It's not
Okay,
formal,
but he's obviously an above average strong man.
pretty much.
Yeah, he's barely above. So he's not he's similar to Spider-Man 2099 or Terry McGinnis, where they learned their own shit at first.
Oh, okay, so
But-
he teaches himself.
Pretty much, yes. Yes.
Does he himself ever become stronger in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, or is it just a stand that achieves more power?
It's the stand.
It's the stand.
JoJo really isn't shit.
Oh, but just to clarify about the whole stop time, I know a lot of people are gonna say, "Well, he can stop time," but again, he cannot spam that ability because of the fact
Also,
Can
also
I please
just,
finish?
sorry.
that
What consequence comes of him doing time stop again?
what the consequence is that it will stop Jotaro's heart.
Oh, well, that's more than enough reason to not do it again. So,
Yeah.
yeah, one time only.
That's what I was
Okay.
trying to get at because I know people are gonna think that he can just spam it anytime. It's like he can't
Well,
spam
if they're
it.
real Bizarre Adventure fans, they'll know that he can't do it again.
Yeah, it's a real bizarre thing.
Ha!
It is. Oh come on!
Oh boy.
Anyway, the thing I was gonna say, it's kind of like with Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter. A lot of the arguments that came for Jack and Daxter's side were, they can stop time. That didn't win them the fight.
Fun
No, it
fact,
didn't.
that's the only fight that I am not happy about and would argue against.
Okay.
There's no other Death Battle fight that I would argue against besides that one.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, no, people who say that he can stop time, yeah, he can, but Clank's immune to that shit.
Yeah, plus he can just see, Ratchet's being affected by that. Not anymore.
Which he's
Yeah.
done in game, so it's not like you can't complain about that because I played both games. So.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make my prediction. I'm expecting this to be the most manly testosterone fight we've ever seen in fucking Death Battle.
For
'cause-
8-bit standards, at least, I highly doubt they're gonna make it.
and I know the animation's gonna be good because Zack Attack is animating this one.
Oh yeah.
So
Zack is good.
he's a sprite animator, I'm guessing.
yeah, he's one of the
he's
most.
animated Hawkeye versus Green Arrow, Hercule versus Dan, Guts versus Nightmare.
I did love Hercule versus Dan.
Oh, who didn't love that fight?
He is the most talented sprite, and him and CV are the two most popular talented sprite animators of all time. So he also animated Android 18 versus Captain Marvel and Batman
Donkey Kong
Beyond.
versus Knuckles.
Yeah, Batman Beyond.
I
versus
think he was
Spider-Man
also the
20.
animator of Chuck Norris versus Sega Sanshiro.
He was the
Wow,
animator.
that battle's going way far.
Yeah, so he did most of season 2, 2 fights of season 4, and now he's back doing season 5. So
Yay.
we're expected to get quite a matchup.
Oh yeah.
I won't be
I know
surprised
exactly
if
what sprites he's gonna be using for that one.
Oh yes, I won't be surprised if Kenshiro wins. So sorry, JoJo fans, please don't kill us. What do you want from us?
At this point, I'm just wondering if Torian's doing the next fight.
It's been 4. It's been 3 episodes. Well, about
It's not always 3 though. That number always varies.
Yeah.
it's true.
I remember where it was every other episode.
I remember that also. That it
Yeah,
wasn't
but
every
now I guess some of the more later ones need more time. I guess that's why. I mean, because I don't know. All we can say is that he must be working on one hell of a fight for it to be taking.
Wouldn't surprise me if it was Thanos versus Darkseid or something.
Oh, please God, no.
I feel like
Everybody
Thanos-
wants that.
I really feel like Thanos.
It's inevitable.
I know, but for Jaru's sake, I hope it doesn't happen sooner.
Doesn't he love Thanos?
Yeah, but Thanos in the comics is a bit of a...
No, I'm talking specifically in the comics. He loves Thanos in the comics.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, then he's going to be biased towards Thanos.
Who won in the 1 minute melee between these two guys?
I think Jotaro did.
Well, again, those fights are based off of research.
Oh, there's actually something that Jaro pointed out about this fight.
Yeah, say it.
What
say
days it comes up? What days
March
it come out?
21st. March 21st.
March 21st. Yeah, in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, that's the day the Jotaro died.
Huh.
Yeah, so Jotaro, something else we forgot to bring up. Jotaro actually died, and it was on March 21st. But
Ooh,
this
could
fight
lightning
is...
strike twice?
Yes, exactly.
Could he die on the same day?
Exactly.
That's sick.
It is. It could happen.
That's sick.
This will be like...
Honestly,
Whoa. What if they do a 180 on us?
I don't know.
They
You want
could've swerved us.
Kenshiro to lose now, do you?
I don't want them to lose, but
You bastard.
we can't base it on the fact that
Go to his house. Go to his house. He
Hey.
wants Kenshiro to lose.
What if Death Battle was counting on that and making people think that
I'm not saying they are. I'm saying it's a funny
No,
coincidence.
it's possible.
it is a coincidence? But
I mean, they're
I don't
not
know
that
how some
misleading.
fans are.
And if Kenshiro wins, I'm likely gonna laugh because it's funny.
It very much is.
At these kind of battles, most people just trust the analysis.
I know. Symbolism!
I think we've talked about this fight for a while.
Yeah, we have. We're unfortunately at an end. And
Not quite. There's still something we do with guests. Remember, this is
yes,
why you
I know.
generate these.
That's what I was going to get to.
Man, Richard, get.
Look,
get
I
off
don't
the
have a
game,
segue
man.
machine. I don't have a segue skill. Get off my back.
Well, pick it up or something.
Oh,
Damn.
yeah, pick it up. I'll go to Walmart and say, hi, do you have a segue skill tool set?
Well, there are segues out there.
Not an act. Never mind.
Anyway, so
beatle5.
beatle5, you
Yes.
are our guest. Usually, when we have a guest, we ask them, "What's your favorite death battle? What's your least favorite death battle? And what's the death battle you really want to see?" We're pretty much just going to get the least favorite out of the way because let's face it, we really want to stay on just get the
Another
negative one out
I'll
of the
tell
way.
you my least favorite. I won't go into too much detail, but I'll tell you. My favorite death battle is.
No, we're
always
starting with
been-
least favorite.
Yeah, we're
Oh.
starting least favorite.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Yeah, just get that out of the way.
Well, it's kind of hard. I mean,
It doesn't necessarily have to be like a fight you disagree with. It could just be, I don't know, just
one of
Not
my
as
least
fan-
favorite death
big
battles
fan
was
by his
also because it kind of contradicted my Pokemon versus Digimon theory. Was Lucario versus Renamon.
ooh.
I wasn't very happy with that. I really, really expected Renamon to win.
Mm.
But I guess throughout their analysis, it made more sense with them not being able to evolve in any sense. So
Well, because we've already seen that in Pokemon vs. Digimon.
right, well,
So this
that
way
I
it's
always
gonna, like,
knew. I always knew since childhood that Digimon was stronger in every kind of sense of evolution and bond and everything. Which leads to what I'm saying. Pokemon and Digimon tie with Dante versus Bayonetta as my all-time favorite death battle. With Digimon finally proving the theory that they're stronger, and Dante being like my all-time favorite video game swordsman. I'm a huge Devil May Cry
Dante
fan.
is so awesome.
I love Devil May Cry. I also love the Bayonetta series, but I knew the which also lead me to loving, despite the loss, Virgil versus Sephiroth. I'm a big fan of Final Fantasy as well, and as much as I really wanted Virgil to win, it was something I couldn't argue.
I kind of wanted Virgil to win as well.
Yeah, I love Virgil. He's comes to par with Dante as my favorite character.
Hmm.
And don't get me wrong, Sephiroth's a badass Final Fantasy guy. He's not my favorite
I-
Final Fantasy guy, but he's
Honestly, I
cool.
love his voice in that fight. He
Yes.
sounded exactly like he does in Affect Children.
Yeah, I
So
love
good.
I love that But
Still-
yeah, it's most of the fights that they're pulled from characters in video games that I really usually love. Like the Ratchet and Clank versus Jack and Daxter fight I requested for so long. When that finally happened, I was super psyched for it.
I have a little bit of a fun fact about that fight. These guys are probably sick of hearing about it, but
Yes, we'll time him.
so
Wow.
So my friend who's part of the research team, Max a few trades, he poured so much into that fight. If any matchup, this was the one he could help out the most in.
Was it the fact that that ice gun couldn't be pulled in for some reason, but he managed to pull in the ice gun for that last attack? I heard a rumor somewhere about that.
No, it was because, like, in his
Model
notes, he
or
just
something.
asked, "Hey, as a favor, could you just have like my favorite weapon?"
That's what it
Ratchet
was.
and Clank.
Yeah.
He only asked for it to be in the sidebar. No one has to mention it. It doesn't have to show up in the fight.
Right.
But then when they decided, okay, Ratchet and Clank are going to win,
Right.
yeah, they decided to make it the kill weapon because it's a quick way of ending the fight, and it would be a thank you to Max for all of his hard work,
Right.
which I love.
I'm much more dedicated to Jack and Daxter than I am a Ratchet and Clank, which is who I was really rooting for on there. But I mean, I feel like the only reason I have to disagree with the fight is not because, Light Jack can't take on Clank Zoni or the fact that Ratchet is loaded with weapons, is that they nerfed the shit out of Jack's dark form. You play Jack 2, he can stay in dark form for so much longer than the time they gave him for that fight.
I could argue that for
That
Supersonic.
that irks me, that's all.
I could argue that for Supersonic in Mario vs. Sonic.
Well, I don't remember that fight. That was years ago.
Okay.
So, I mean, and just them kicking the rhino around seemed just a little too comedic.
Oh, that was funny.
Don't get me wrong, it was funny, but it seemed too comedic to be strategic. Like that
rhymes.
happening should not have reverted Jack back to normal. That's just my only real complaint, because Dark Jack I knew would have sealed the deal.
Yeah, but it only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
But it lasted longer than what they gave it credit for. Yes, it only lasts for so long, but not that long.
But Ratchet and Clank have that much more stuff to keep him at bay.
Yeah, I know. I know they got a crap ton of weapons. That's what makes them.
Yeah, like an absurd amount up their
Yeah,
arsenal.
Yeah, absolutely.
So-
And Jack's got, I think, like 6 or 7.
Yeah. So
In one gun, but they use up all the same
Right.
kind of like.
Well, also something else that irked me was that them being in Jack's world, Jack's ammo for the entire series is eco, and they really didn't let him take advantage of that.
yeah. So what's
Yeah, but
your
that's like
Because
really
eco
such
is
substantial.
generally in nature. You play Jack the Precursor Legacy, and you can basically get eco from beating pots and shit of the smallest things around you. So he should never be without it.
I don't think that really like factors into it that much because you can say, oh, well, if they were fighting in Ratchet and Clank areas, then eco isn't around.
Yeah, but then I would say fine, he's not there. But they were in Sandover
Yeah, but
Village.
For the sake of both, I think just no replenishing eco, no replenishing nanotech.
Yeah, well, I mean, hell, Ratchet and Clank could have had ammo pickups, but would they really need them? No, they have like so many weapons they don't really need.
Gentlemen, this is a great conversation. But
It is a great conversation. How dare you ruin it?
Well, do you want this to go over 2 hours?
Not really, but anyway,
Yeah.
I was gonna bring this up anyway. So, beatle5, what is your most wanted death battle?
It goes from about as close to Ruby and Maka with. I really would like them to bring in some old Cartoon Network characters. Like I've really been itching. I've been itching for XJ9 Jenny from My Life as a Teenage Robot versus Robot Boy from Robot Boy.
Yes.
I've seen that thrown around out there. Robot Boy is
How cool would that be? I just feel like that, some old Cartoon Network characters and even Nickelodeon characters have potentials to be a death battle. Another one like close to the list is although it might be comedic, Zim and Gur versus Crypto and Pox.
Interesting.
With Richard Horvitz voicing both Pox and Zim, how fun would that be to make a voice reference?
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
And I haven't thought of an opponent yet for this guy, but I would really love for them to use Raz from Psychonauts. But I cannot think of who he should fight. It's a really hard call. But I would love to see them put Raz in a death battle.
Absolutely, man.
Well, who knows?
Who knows? Indeed.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've heard this about your other most wanted fight, Ruby versus Marka.
Yeah, I've heard the rumors that will happen at some point.
No, that is going to happen.
Mhm. Yeah.
And one of the reasons why is because
Monty
that's the fight.
requested it.
Yeah,
before
Monty
that.
wanted it.
Mhm. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
If I had to place my bet on who would win that fight, I would have to say probably Maka.
I knew you were going to say that. I want Ruby to win just
I
because
love
I'm more
them
familiar
both.
with her.
Soul
Hell.
Eater's my favorite anime, and I love dude, I love Ruby so much too. I love them both so equally. I wouldn't care who either one of those would win the fight. Just by
Me neither,
personal
because I know
know-how of
Monty
what I
wouldn't.
already know, I think Maka would win.
It's possible. I could
If
definitely
Ruby
say
wins, awesome. I'll be super happy. It'll be probably the only death battle I'll be happy with either one of them.
Hell, I want Ruby to win, but if she loses, I'm not gonna be that bothered about it.
No,
Yes.
me neither.
Because would Monty be that bothered about it? Hell, he said he wants a Ruby character in Death Battle, win or lose.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, Yang versus Tifa was a little obvious to me.
Indeed.
Yeah, some people
Again,
try
love,
and say, "Oh,
love Final
Tifa's
Fantasy,"
so."
but I knew Tifa wasn't going to win.
He said he
Wait,
knew.
Did you
He
say
said-
wasn't gonna win?
Yeah,
Yes,
I said I love Final Fantasy.
I misheard that.
You know,
Yeah,
another
so many people
awesome
try
fight that
and
I'm
say
a
that-
little bummed they turned into a DBX because I requested it a bunch of times was Noctis versus 2B. I really wanted that to be a death battle.
Well, they have said that DBX matchups could become death battles, like Noel Vermillion versus I keep forgetting the other character's name. The robot girl who's also like a Arc System Works character.
Yeah.
I forget her name, but there's a lot of requests for that to become a death battle. And since we got Cross Tag Battle coming out, maybe that could be the tie-in.
Yeah. Also,
I don't
Banjo Kazooie versus Ukulele. Why has this not happened yet? Ukulele may not have done so well, but the comparison is right there. It has to happen.
I mean, you
Well-
could say the same for Crash versus Spyro, especially since
why did
Crash
you
is
say
coming
that?
to Switch.
Why did you say that?
Yeah, I'm really happy about that because I don't have a PS4.
Yeah.
I've got a Switch like right over there.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and I almost forgot about the most obvious one that I've requested thousands of times.
Go ahead.
Sora from Kingdom Hearts. He has to fight either Pit from Kid Icarus or Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles.
It's gonna be one of those two, and I think with Kingdom Hearts 3 coming out, that's likely they might do that this year.
Oh god, I've been asking for Sora for like 2.5 years.
So is everyone. It's a
Yeah.
good
Gonna
thing
happen.
Freelancer Amber isn't here because she'd tell you how much she wants Sora in Death
Would she be
Battle.
fangirling Kingdom Hearts?
Oh, fuck
Oh,
yes.
hell yeah.
Oh god, I'd get along so well.
Of course, yes.
Fucking love Kingdom Hearts. I'm
Yeah.
still pains me inside. I don't have a PS4 yet for the 3 that will may or may never come.
Oh, you'll get one. We know you will.
Yeah, I know. I'm working on. Well, what I'm hoping for is that what they've been doing this past few months is that they'll port it to Switch. I mean, they've been doing
Yeah.
a whole bunch of PS4 exclusives. Have been going to all kinds of stuff. Just the other day, I've been binge playing Final Fantasy 15 on PC finally because now on PC. If they throw Kingdom Hearts 3 on PC, hell yes.
Mm-hmm.
You never know.
So, yeah.
So.
So, you're only mate. Are we done with all of the topics?
Oh, we might as well be.
Because I've told you and DuoDreamer this in private, but I think it's now time we announce this. What the next
Okay.
one will be.
Oh yeah, that.
What the next one
yeah.
will be.
So we thank you all for watching this, and as a little present for each of you, we give a little prediction for a death battle, but we also let you know what the next topic for Nerdbender will be. So with that being said, this has been 2 years in the making. The next one
Been
will
off
be
for so long.
yes, the next one will be Disney. We'll be talking
Disney.
about Disney, everything Disney.
The big mouse company,
Huh.
Yes,
They
Disney-
rule
and then
the
we'll get
world.
taken down by Mickey Mouse.
Mickey Mouse, please don't take this down. We love you.
With only 3 circles, I dominate the
Dominate.
planet.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes,
I
but
miss
it's-
ERB.
I know, but
Yeah,
it won't
I remember
just.
seeing fan art of like Mickey Mouse wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, and he has
Yes.
like Marvel Studios, Lucasfilms.
That's
all those
the
other
image I can't
studios and
picture.
Disney
Now
owns.
Fox.
Yes, I
Yes.
know, but it won't just be with the 5 of us. Hopefully, we'll also be having a special guest, and this one has been a year and a half in the return making. Returning will be
Oh, who could
Elsie
it be?
Lovelock.
Okay, there we go.
Elsie, yes, I did not stutter. Elsie Lovelock is coming back for the Disney one. So
I saw this picture on Facebook of how it said, "Oh, Disney bought out Fox." That makes the xenomorph alien queen a Disney princess.
Oh my god.
that is so true.
Wait.
How,
Does that mean
how
Screw
fucked up is that?
Does that mean when Screw Attack does the Disney Princess Battle Royale, they have to throw the Xenomorph in there?
Yeah,
Yes!
throw in a xenomorph queen.
Wow.
I still
Princess
say
Leia.
I still say the winner of that fight is 4.
Which one? The Lady Thor, Jane Foster, Lady Thor, or regular Thor?
yeah.
Because okay, cool.
She's still referred to as 4.
Yeah,
But
she
Thor
is.
a Disney princess.
Yes, Jane Foster. Foster is a Disney princess
See,
now.
I think Snow White will obliterate the universe.
It's still a closer fight than Disney Prince Royale, though.
Oh God!
That's just basically everyone.
Dude,
versus
that's Aladdin. Obviously, he has a cutlass and a genie. Duh. Aladdin, and he's the fucking Sultan.
Does Genie count as outside help?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, he's you know what? He's free, so yes, it does. Never mind then. He's got a cutlass.
Indeed. So
And
yeah,
he has awesome agility too. So
yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, but Hercules is Hercules.
Oh God,
shit,
yes,
I forgot about
Disney.
Hercules.
Hercules,
Hercules is a god, though. He's not a prince.
Hercules.
Yeah, but he kills them all.
Yeah.
So yes, ladies and gentlemen, this was the second episode. We hope you enjoyed it. And
I
it's
sure as hell did.
yes, we're happy
Yay.
you came here.
I hope to
beatle5.
come back. It's been a thrill to speak to you guys and be part of Nerdbender. I've definitely watched you guys individually, but I'm definitely glad
Except
to be
me.
part of it. Yeah, as of now, I will start watching you too. I apologize.
Okay. Well, I will say, if you like Ruby, I do Ruby Cracks.
Oh, really? Oh, those are cool.
Yes. Well, if you all want beatle5 to come back in some way or form, please let us know down in the comments below. How could you not want him back? And if you don't want
say
him back,
it-
then we'll kill you.
I say it. Whoa, okay.
I'm
thought you were
kidding.
I'm gonna say, if you don't want them back, I thought you were gonna kill me.
No.
no.
I was thinking if like Ruby versus Maka or Sora gets put in Death Battle, like happens, and perhaps that would be the bring back.
Oh yeah. Love it.
I think that sounds fair.
You don't
Yes,
even
that
need,
does.
dude. You don't need to make a reason like that, man. I'll come back on you for anything. I'm a jack of all trades.
Oh.
Look at that. Just from this, I learned more about ponies than I've ever have before.
Oh. It's true. Friendship is magic. Woo!
Oh, let's not go that far.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Let's say friendship
it's
is fighting.
magic.
Right?
You
isn't,
know.
isn't that the name of the game? Friendship is
Yes.
fighting.
Yes. But we hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much, and we apologize it took so long, but we all have lives, and your only mate will get this out when he gets it out. Please don't pressure him.
Yeah, there's no like set time I'll have it out. It's just whenever I finish editing it.
Yes. Oh, wait. Also, too, we should probably mention this. We have a new intro, courtesy of Yang the Insane. She put it together for us, and it will be either in the beginning or the end.
It's gonna be in the beginning. So
Okay,
saying it
so-
now is kind of like
Yeah, so please go check her out. She's amazing, and she deserves all your love and support. So thank you all so much for tuning in, and we'll see you for the Disney one. We're gonna have to get in our singing voices, aren't we? Ah, crap.
I'm not
I can sing. For real.
Well, everyone has been wanting us to do a Nerdbender musical, so maybe they'll get
dude,
their
are you
wish.
kidding me?
I have not
can
seen a
any-
single one of
you
that.
start off any Mulan song, I could fucking follow it.
Okay.
Let's get down to business.
To defeat the Hun.
We'll see you guys for the next one. Until then, I'm Rich.
When
Korra
we
Kenobi saying-
need more puns.
No!
Yeah, more puns.
We'll see you guys next time. I'm Richard Korra Kenobi saying, may the force be with you.
Bye.
And I say, have a pun-deful day.
I hate you.
Oh, I hate you too.
See you guys next time. Laters.
And this is DuoDreamer saying, always dream big.